evening, everybody, and welcome back to Miss Phins. I am Miss Phins. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Thank you, thank you, thank you. My God, yes, this is our weekly night show. As you can see, we have already updated our new, background and stuff. Very happy. But guys, yes, thank you so much for joining Miss Phins. We got a whole new intro celebrating 6 months being with you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for allowing me to be here with you guys, having so much fun with me. Honestly, at this point, what can we do? You know what I mean? Except have even more fun. And that's exactly what we keep doing over here with Miss Fins. So, guys, thank you so much for joining Miss Fins. I really do appreciate it, guys. If you haven't done so already, you already know what to do. You already know what to do. And I'm still going to say it. Guys, hit that like button, share, subscribe. You know what to do. Make sure you make it happen right there. Hit that like button and subscribe. Yes, we have leveled up, Miss Fins. How you doing? You see, we got the new stuff. I know. We got new. I'm telling you, we completely changed it. As a way of saying thank you to all of you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being um, loyal subscribers, honestly, and followers. But you guys, anybody that's new, all your friends and family, tell them to subscribe today. YouTube.com/MissFins. We're so close to 400. We gotta get to 500. Why, guys? Well, I mean, yes, I am doing it. I'm doing a 500 subscriber giveaway, guys. It is coming. I'm trying to do it before the season start, guys. So go ahead and make it happen. You know you got your girl, Miss Fins, tonight. We're gonna have fun. I may or may not have somebody else up in here too a little later. We'll see, but scheduling and stuff. But it's no big deal. You guys already know how I do. I don't need no. I mean, and I'm not trying to collab with people or not, but guys, I mean, you come here for the main attraction. It's Miss Fins. You see my name? Everything's new. Oh God, I love it. Tell you, I worked really hard on all this new stuff, so I hope you guys like it too. We're bringing the production up. This is the night show, so therefore, yes, we got new background and everything. Yo, EM Baller, welcome to the building. What's up? Thank you always for showing up here. I love that saying. Oh, you have this? You have this one? Oh, I love it too. Honestly, I really love this hat. It's really nice, comfortable, Finland P. Welcome back to Miss Fizz. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Yeah, you guys should already know. I love hats. Like, love hats. So yeah, when I went to the training camp, guys, I went a little crazy. I bought like 5 or 6. I'm not even gonna lie, and I almost bought like 10. I had to put some away because you get like a lot. You know what I mean? But definitely will be doing that 500 subscribers. So I'm happy to have all of you guys over here, guys. Go ahead and do me that favor. You know what to do. Hit that like button. Guys, like you see in the title, yes, we will be discussing today kind of a recap of what's happening or what happened this morning with the Miami Dolphins versus Tampa Bay Bucs. First joint practice, those are always fun. A couple highlights here and there. I'm gonna try to pop up a couple videos for you guys too, just so you guys can see it. A lot of people are getting out of work. They didn't get a chance to see all the videos and things like that. So I'm gonna pop up a few of these videos here for you guys, so you guys can go ahead and see it. So definitely stay tuned for those, guys. Also, too, keep in mind, all we do is win over here with the Dolphins, and I'm gonna talk a little bit more about that. Just letting you know. Just letting you know. But yeah, I was very I was very, very happy with everything that I saw today. Not gonna lie, definitely very happy, and to me, is exactly what we needed, if we're being honest. And I'm gonna discuss it in a little bit. But guys, if you guys caught me earlier, I did do a play-by-play. Shout out to the man, the myth, the legend. Not that he's a myth, but you know what I mean. Diddy Finstock, I think he's still live right now. If you haven't checked him out, go ahead and check him out. He honestly he helped me get started here, so shout out to him. I definitely helped out with the live coverage. I was working and stuff, but allow me to go ahead and get you guys some play by play too. If you didn't get a chance to, you're able to go ahead and go back to my timeline and kind of go over a few of the plays, and some updates, some information here for you guys, as we always do. Why? Because it's all for you guys. Okay, guys, if you haven't done so already, hit that like button. Thank you so much. Now let's see here. As far as the Dolphins and the Bucs, you guys already know our first preseason game is going to be on Saturday, 7:30 p.m. over there in Tampa Bay. That's going to be our very first preseason game. With that game, obviously, you already know that we're going to go ahead and whoop some booty. Just kidding. We will whoop some booty. You'll see. But it is at 7:30 over there away. That's why the Dolphins have traveled all the way to, what do you call it? Tampa, to be able to do the joint practice and also do that. When they announced it, I was very excited because one of the great things about having a joint practice, guys, is whenever you're practicing with your own team, it's kind of like cheating. You already know your tendencies for the opposing team. Um, but whenever you have to do it with your own players, I'm sorry, opposing players, that's when you start having, you start to measure how far along are you really with training camp, how well are you doing, and things like that. So that's one of the great things about having these joint practices. Is something that I'm very, very happy about, and I keep looking forward to tomorrow. Same thing, I'm gonna go ahead and make that happen for all you guys as well. Trying to make sure, we're here with you. um Let's see. Now, if you guys have any questions, you already know, go ahead and put that in the comment section, guys, because I mean that's where it goes. So go ahead and do it, guys. You see it over here. Like, share, subscribe, Miss Phins, level up, Miss. Oh, really quickly, I'm really happy about this level up too. Make it happen. But guys, so that's one of the great things about having a joint practice, is you can measure yourself with an opposing team. The way they did it today, they had both fields. Out of the three fields, they used two outside fields. Brady and the offense was going against our defense, and then our offense was going against the Bucks defense. So it's actually pretty nice the way that they did it, so that we can have continuous um, workout between both offense and defense on both teams. Um, So let me get into it, because I think it's very important, very easy, honestly, to discuss. As far as the Dolphins versus the Bucks, so our defense versus them. Based on everything that we had here, our defense was actually doing pretty well, guys. Now, nonetheless, obviously we can definitely do a bit better. Why not? Q, welcome back to Miss Phins. Much appreciated. How you doing, buddy? All the way from down under. Wait, no, wait. That's Australia. You know what I mean. From Samoa, right? Samoa. Unless you're in Hawaii, but I know you're Samoan. So, how you doing? Yes, yes, yes. I know. Were you at practice today? So cute. I wasn't at practice today. TD was at practice today. I I I was working, but I was able to go ahead and get some highlights, listen to some stuff, kind of update you guys. Akuna Matata, yes, what a wonderful phrase. Robert Trainer, welcome. Good evening, Miss Fins. Absolutely, guys. Thank you so much for coming back to Miss Fins. You already know what to do. It says it right up here. Like, share, subscribe, guys. All right, on. Yes. So I was trying to go ahead and give you guys, because again, I know not everybody has access to NFL Network, which they were all out there, and also to not able to be in person. I myself wasn't able to be in person, but thankfully, because of TD, and again, like I said, shout out to TD being there in person, giving that live reaction and live images too from the joint practice. It was great. And I was able to go ahead and catch some information and kind of give it to you guys play by play, so on and so forth. So just going back with, as far as our actual defense versus their offense, guys. TB12 was very upset, actually. He was very frustrated and it was visible. One thing that I noticed consistently was that when it came to our defense, excuse me, dinner was great. When it came to our defense, uh, exactly, shout out to TD. When it came to our defense, they were able to go ahead and contain the Bucks. Now, granted, they're not playing with all their stars. They're not playing with all their ones. Some vets were out because of vet rest. Some were because of injury. But overall, it was Tom Brady. I mean, you can't. He already takes up the for like six other players. Hey Jeremiah, how you doing? Hello there, Miss Phins. Hope your evening is going well. Loving your new Dolphins merchandise. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yep, yep. Hey, listen, you see it, right? We upgraded Miss Fans. We got new thumbnails. We got new everything. So this is all for you guys to give you guys a better production, so that you guys can go ahead and tell everybody else, so they can come over here, like, subscribe, share, all the good stuff. But he was definitely very, very frustrated. And one of the things that you can notice is that we were taking away what he feels comfortable with. Now, he still had access to the Dinkin and Duncan. He's the king of Dinkin and Duncan. People say two is the king of Dinkin and Duncan, but we kind of took that away several times, and he was forced to go into the intermediate routes, even the deeper routes. And you clearly see that there was a miscommunication between him and his receivers based on the defense we were running. We ran a lot of cover zero, which is great. Um, I think we did blitz a few times, but for the most part, we were just containing. I was very happy to hear that our defenses, especially, I think it was, I forgot who said it. I gotta pull it up, but one of the players said, "I can't stand going against Xavier Howard," which I thought it was rather funny. I mean, hello, he is top three cornerback in the entire league. Forget Madden and its ridiculousness as far as its rating. So, water break. Mm. But yeah, so sorry about that. Where is it? Okay, we're gonna have that puppy there. Just getting a couple stuff here for you guys because remember, we're gonna definitely get you guys, um, some good stuff. Now, you can even see like there are images where you had Raekwon Davis dominating the O line. That's one thing I did notice that our D line was seriously overpowering their offensive line. Now, granted, they had their starting center get injured. Then their backup center also got injured in this joint practice. Now, they came out and said later on that it was just a cramp, so nothing too serious, which is great. You never want to see any of these guys get injured to the point that they can't do their jobs. You know what I mean? They still got families to feed and stuff like that. So I will never want them to, what do you call it, to lose out on that opportunity. You know what I mean? But it's something to say that the fact that we had those players and they were able to go ahead and be as effective. I mean, him alone, Raekwon alone, being able to do that, that's one of the main reasons why we want him, why we wanted him, why we missed him when we lost him to injury last year. That run stopping, it helped out. He was one of the main factors. Another thing too, because of the way our defensive line was playing, guys, the Buccaneers couldn't run. They couldn't really do any runs. And I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to see that because that was one of the major things where I felt like, oh God, are we gonna be able to actually do or improve upon from last year? That was one of the main things that I needed for us to improve. Why? Because if we're being honest, you can't survive in this team without you can't survive in the NFL without actually being able to stop the run. Period. I don't care how good you are of a team. If you can't stop the run, you're not effective. Having our defensive line be as effective as they are definitely has helped. And so they definitely highlight, and I think I do have the video here, which I'm gonna try to pull up for you guys. Oh, let me take this away. So just bear with me real quick. 1 second. No, hold on, guys. I'm trying to do no volume for you guys, but I do want to go ahead and at least share this with you guys because that's the whole point. I want to be able to show you as I'm speaking to things so you guys know. We give you the up to date stuff. You know what I mean? Let's see here. There it is. Okay, so you guys could clearly see here. This is Raekwon, and this is him, an example of him dominating. This is shout out to whichever Bucks fan was out there actually illegally recording this. But look at him. You see this? This is just the example on the one on ones. But even here, you can see, like, come on, man. Come on. He got him all the way to the QB. If the QB, you know what I mean by QB. If the QB hadn't moved, pancake. And look at the technique that he's utilizing. At no point is he allowing that guy to stop him. Using the power of his legs. Hey, Bleezy, how you doing? Good evening. Using the power of his legs being shifty, but the whole time he's getting around him. So that way, once he does make whichever move he decides, which he made a move right then and there, he can go after the actual QB. So very happy about that. To me, that's something that we definitely, we want to see more, and I'm glad that we were able to showcase that. What do you call it? Yeah, we were able to go ahead and showcase that oh, come on, for us. You know what I mean? So that's just one of the things. Level 2 noob, you're awesome. It's Phins with a little evening dolphin talk. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciate you, level 2 noob, for sharing. Absolutely appreciate it. What else? Thank you so much. Let's see here. Oh, well, we're having some technical difficulties, guys. Give me a minute here, and we're back. Thank goodness. Nope, we're not back. What's happening here? Oh, I think I know exactly what it is. I think that might help. I'm pretty sure that'll help. Is it gonna help? Fingers crossed. Yep, that helped. Yes. But guys, I mean, let's see here. We got a couple other stuff. I want to show you a couple of videos from Tua. Also a couple from Iggy. But right now we're discussing our defense and actually how our defense did well against Brady. We really did contain him. Now, I might as well just say because mm, it's gonna happen anyways. But at the end of the day, look, people, our defense wasn't 100% perfect, but at least we were able to go ahead and test out what we had. One of them being the one that I'm going to show you right now, so you guys can go ahead and take a look at it once I get this to actually work. So just bear with me, guys. Mm, Nope. There it is. Oh, let me. Once I get it up, you guys are gonna get it. But anyways, moving on. A lot of people I've been listening to people. Oh no, Benani, he got burned left and right. He got burned this and that. Blah blah blah. You know what, guys? First of all, he's still technically a rookie. Let's see. Sorry. Okay, sorry about that, guys. Just reading some stuff. Come on. Anywho, you still got me? You still here, guys? Yes, you are. Yep. Okay, perfect. Let me go live here. Okie dokie. Okay, there you go. Hey, listen, whenever you're shooting a live show, that's something that you will learn if you don't already know. Things will happen. You just got to be prepared to keep the show going. Now, I have here some videos and things like that that once I can finally get them pulled up, I'll go ahead and pull them up for you. But look, our defense definitely looked good. And Noah, yes, he got burned a couple times. But overall, did he do good enough? Yes, he did. Let me explain. On the 11 to 11, it was actually pretty decent. And now I know that I tweeted out when he essentially kind of gave up on a play, but some are saying that he might have been confused or he may not have known the full assignment. I don't know how. I'm not going to crucify him just yet. You know what I mean? I am going to wait and see. I still want to give him time to be able to go ahead and um, work out through the kinks. But unless he's on the field, he's not going to be able to work out through those things. Now, one thing that I did tweet was Dolphins defense taking care of the Bucs. Brady did have back-to-back bad passes and incompletions. Good to see our defense not losing a beat. And at that point, it was towards the end of practice when they were doing their 11 to 11. And yes, we were stuffing him to the point that he wanted to go ahead and just throw away the ball, or he actually ended up throwing balls that were not accurate. Now, that has a lot to do with our defense. The fact that our guys were really defending each player well. That's something that you want to see when, whenever you have your team. Sorry, real quick. Let me stop sharing that because I think that might be better. Yeah, I'm gonna have to give it a minute just to make sure that things are still good. I don't know. We'll see, guys, because everything over here is just my goodness, a little shorter than expected. Um, Apparently my computer's having a party, but there's nothing wrong with that. So we're gonna go ahead and keep it moving. So that was our defense. The defense, I think, definitely did really well. Not really well, guys. It's the first joint practice, but we were able to see where we can be better. Noah has some stuff to work out, but I'm not. I'm not out here gonna crucify him. He's still a rookie. He's still got to get his touches. Once he gets his touches, then we can go ahead and talk. Right now, he's not getting his touches as other of our rookies have gotten. So I'm not gonna crucify him for that one. Now, that was Brady, or Brady against our defense, which Ogba was pretty happy. Now, Marcellus Lewis Jack quoted um, Emmanuel Albach saying that the Dolphins got embarrassed last year, but felt they had a good practice versus Tampa Bay. And we did get embarrassed last year. Let's not lie. Again, we were going against Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Bucs, who had just won the Super Bowl the year before, but we got embarrassed, guys. This time, this defense came to play. They did not forget. They came to play. And even though it was what do you call it? Even though it was a joint practice, it got chippy. What do I mean by that? Ooh, some of our players, they were not having it. Uh, They were not having it because, to be honest with you, um, they got a little tippy, guys. They got chippy. Our defensive players actually, I mean, I don't want to say that they fought, but I gotta remember who it was that actually put hands with someone else. I thought it was hilarious, to be honest with you. Color, how you doing, Color? Welcome. Let's see here. So Publix has these blueberry muffins, a 4 pack I've been putting with on. All right, cool. Brady's wife gave me the recipe. Awesome. Well, Color, thank you for joining Miss Fins. I appreciate you, buddy. I appreciate you. And you know what? Let's see here. Here, if you guys want to come up, for anybody that wants to, no need. But hey, if y'all want to come up here and discuss what you guys have seen, definitely go ahead and do so. Um, we're having fun out here. You know what I mean? So there you go. We're having some serious fun. Yeah, hands were thrown, people. That's all I gotta say. I'm trying to find that video because I thought it was hilarious. That the fact that our guys were actually like fighting them, and it wasn't us. To be fair, if I'm not mistaken, it was Wilkins versus one of their D linemen. I don't know. But it was hilarious, guys. If you didn't catch it, catch the video. I gotta pull it up. If I can find it, I'll send it to you guys. As far as our offense now versus the Tampa Bay defense. Oof. Okay. What? How do I? Let me get a water break before I have to break this down. Mm. Our defense did all right. I actually thought our defense, our offense did all right. I thought our offense did better against their defense than their offense did with our defense. I did see some good passes. Obviously, there's that one pass that Tua clearly underthrew, but it wasn't. It was on purpose. You could tell that ball was just like completely underthrown on purpose. So I'm not even gonna harp on it. Anybody that wants to relax, keep it moving. As far as the Dolphins themselves, um, guys, Eric Ezukama, what a beast. I mean, up and down, all around, amazing, amazing, amazing. To me, he's definitely, you guys already know, and tomorrow we're doing a 53-man update, projected update. And my initial one, I had him making the team. But seeing him in practice and then seeing him at this joint practice, oof, I was so happy. It made me so happy because for me, honestly, he's one of our brightest stars. And I think because of him, forget it. I think by now we all know that Preston Williams signed his own trading form. He ain't going to be here, please. But we still have some other ones. Lynn Button Jr., we still have Trent Sherfield, which a lot of people are saying he's going to make it. We still got to see. You guys got to catch the 53 men tomorrow morning when I said it updated for you guys. As far as Eric, though, I can safely say, and I'm very confident this kid is going to make the 53-man roster. His route running has been crisp. I'm glad that he's able to. His catch rate is, we already know, is huge, but I'm glad that he's able to catch different types of balls. Tua, I do have to say, did good. He could have done better. Consistency, obviously, that's one thing that I always harp. I need consistency out of Tua. One thing I did notice, there was a pass that he threw behind Waddle that Waddle tried to catch, but he couldn't, like, you one of these. And it just was not happening. And that kind of brings me back to last year and one of the major issues that I had with Tua was that his everybody wants to say that Tua is the most accurate quarterback, blah 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 blah. Okay, sure, whatever. No. Ball placement, okay? It's important. Tomorrow there will be a brawl. Bleezy, you're calling the brawl already? Really? Nice. Is he a Walker handpicked Easy E? Walker. And it makes sense he picked Easy E. Wanna know why? First of all, he's like 2 feet taller than Welker. If we're being honest. But talent recognizes talent. I mean, I don't know what other way of saying this. Easy E, talented. That kid's going places. And I think that with this receiving core and also with Welker, we will be able to go ahead and develop him for what what he's looking for, what we're looking for as far as a wide receiver. So very happy about that. Back to Tua because I know a lot of people only want to discuss Tua, so I'm going to discuss Tua here. And like I mentioned, that behind pass, he had a couple of those, but the main one that I noticed was with Waddle. It's a little annoying because those are the same type of catches Gesicki had to deal with last year. And then you had these guys like it wasn't just Gesicki. You had Matt Holland, Preston, all of them had to catch multiple balls thrown behind them. And the problem is when you're trying to get yak, you can't get yak if the ball's coming behind you. You gotta do 360. If the ball is placed to you, in stride, we already know this. You're able to go ahead and catch and go. Problem is that wasn't the case. And that main one, it just brought me back to last year. And that's one of the things that Tua needs to clean up. And he himself has said, my ball placement, I gotta work on it. So there you go. Check down Tua won't cut it during the season. Actually, I'm okay with check down Tua. There's nothing wrong with that. That's not a problem. I am kidding. Welcome back to Miss Phins. That's not the issue. It's not the checking down. Even though I do say, and I've said this even last year, I need Tua to go ahead and see the second level. I need him to actually read the intermediate middle to further, between the 12 to 18 and then from 20 to 25. I need him to be able to see those players and those plays and make those. That's why I worry about Tua throwing crazy picks. And the problem is when you're throwing balls like that, especially when your guys can't catch them, they get picked off. You know what I mean? Which happened in training camp on Sunday or Saturday with Skylar Thompson. He threw a ball 40 yards. He overthrew it just a little bit. The receiver tried to go ahead and catch it, couldn't. The ball got tipped, and then it was a pick. Those are the types of picks I feel like Tua's more likely to have this year versus like, oh, I'm just gonna straight up throw it to the defense. No, I don't see that. But I do see those batted balls or those tipped balls because that ball placement is huge. And even though it seems like he's got better at it, he still needs to clean that up. That's one of my main concerns with Tua. Okay, let's see here. Um, sorry, my brain. So anywho, but you guys already know what I'm trying to say. It could get rather frustrating, especially when you have to deal with that. So Tua, clean that up, please. Other than that, I thought he was pretty solid. I didn't see anything major that I was concerned about with Tua. I did like the fact that he was able to, towards the end, move the ball. I did see the actual, what do you call it? When they did that 2 minute drill, he was able to go ahead and find his receiver, put it in the money, make it happen. But I also did notice that one of the main reasons why we weren't able to go ahead and get that field goal off to, put points up is because Tua may not necessarily still be seen at second level or that third level and passes. And that's still concerning. Something that does need to improve upon. Can he do it? Absolutely. We all know this. That's not the problem. The problem is he needs to go ahead and figure this out. If he doesn't, we're going to have some issues. My goodness, guys. This is hilarious. I'm sorry. Something came to mind and it just made me laugh. Oh, geez. Listen, hey, I just want to first of all take a moment here and say thank you for all 10 of you guys out here staying with Miss Fins. Really do appreciate it. You guys are awesome. I know we all got everybody essentially coming in and talking about the game, about the joint practice. Very, very much appreciated from you guys for sure. Um, let's see here. Listen, this team, it, one thing that I did notice, our offense was able to overcome their defense. Now, the Bucs do run a similar offense like us, 3-2. Sometimes they do run more more uh wow, the word is escaping me. They sometimes they do run more zone, but they do like to run a lot of man. It's very happy to see that our wide receivers were able to get some separation. Like I mentioned already, Easy E, one of my favorites. My God, it was good. Waddle also had some great passes, great catches as well. Now, there was this one throw to Gesicki. It's probably the only one. He probably got maybe like two throws to him all day, two or three throws. Some people are saying, "Oh, he just didn't catch it. Oh, Tua just did this." Blah, blah, blah. Overall, from what I saw from the videos and from the reports, the ball may have been slightly thrown away from him to a point that he couldn't catch it. So it just goes back to the accuracy. Now, could maybe perhaps Gesicki ran a better route? I don't know. I don't want to lie to you and tell you either way. All I do know is that we need to gel a little bit better, especially as we have our what do you call it? Our teams going. You know what I mean? Let's see here. Oh my goodness. Okay, bear with me because I'm trying to pull up this video for you guys so you guys can see. So just bear with me right now. I think this is hilarious. Yeah, I'll put this here, leave that there for later. My goodness. Okay, so let me show you guys this video real quick. I thought it was pretty awesome. Oh, come on, come on. There you go. This is the one I wanted to show you guys from Easy E. Yes. Okay, take a look at it. Hold on, hold on. This is a great, great, great video. You'll be able to see it. Essentially what I was talking about when it comes to Easy E. So bear with me here. Let me know if y'all can see it. Yep, I think y'all can see it. Okay. So take a look at that real quick. Let's hit play. No volume. Just play. You see that right there? My goodness. Let's see that one more time. Let's see that one more time. Guys, did you notice that he literally almost went out of bounds and still managed not to? Right there. First of all, great passing skills, Miss Phins. Because, man, I paused it perfectly. Look at how he is right here. And he's still not out. He still manages not to do it. Now, I'm trying to see who threw him that ball because I can't really tell right now. It was a very beautiful ball. I'm not really sure who threw it, which QB. But look at him. The awareness of knowing where his feet is and still be able to keep going. phenomenal. So I think, if I'm not mistaken, hold on. Yeah, I'm trying to see, but there's no way for me to know. It looks like these are um, one-on-one skill drills. Phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. Very happy to see that. You know what I mean? So he's just one of the main ones that I can tell you had a good day, especially in this offense. And we're back to this being okay. Perfect. So there you have it. Teddy threw that. Teddy was the one. Oh man, guys. Well, Miami Kid, that was a very beautiful. I don't know about you, but that was a very beautiful pass. And I love the fact that Teddy, if it was Teddy, then look how he led him, the anticipation, and the fact that Easy had the presence to go ahead and actually stay in bound. That's what you want to see. There were a couple other ones that I wanted to go ahead and get for you guys. It's kind of hard for some reason to, because, you know, technical difficulties. No big deal, guys. But you can get it on my Twitter too. If you go to my likes, you'll be able to see it. Kind of have it all liked there, um, for sure. Let's see here. Let me check out one thing real quick. Uh, yeah. Okay. Well, listen. As far as the rest of it go, guys, I don't know about you. What did you guys see from the reports out there and things like that? What did you guys see? What were you able to go ahead and notice? Anybody that stood out for you? Because as far as I was concerned, I kind of liked it. I liked the way that we did the first joint practice. I thought that we were, honestly, I want to say we gave it a roll, but we did pretty decent for not, not not being against our own team, especially with the offense. That's one thing that I was very happy about. Now, there was no running game. That's one thing I will say. No running game whatsoever. And I know that does have something to do with what do you call it? It does have something to do with the offensive line, which can obviously do better. And one thing that I will have to say, my goodness, Tanner Connor Williams needs to be a left guard. He needs to stop trying to be our center. With the amount of passes that almost sailed over Tua, I'm sorry. I don't feel comfortable with having him as the actual, even backup center. At this point, that's one thing Dieter and Tua had at least. They were able to go ahead and give each other, um, you know, have that chemistry with those types of what do you call it? Um, Jesus. Yes, there it is. Yeah, the snaps. Even that, at least they were able to go ahead and take care of. I don't know what happened with Connor today, but my goodness, it was not looking pretty at all. And I'm not understanding why, because it makes absolutely no sense as to why he was so bad today. Looked so bad today. So that's one thing that I will say did not help. And that also doesn't help with the run game, because now if Tua's gonna have to fish for this ball, we can't run the different types of schemes that we're trying to run in the offense. Now, for this being a run heavy offense, there was extremely lack of offense. To be honest with you, I don't even think I heard any of the running backs do anything today. Maybe one, maybe Chase got something. I can't even remember. That's how bad it was. And that's not a good look at all. That is not a good look, because you want to be able to go ahead and have you want to be able to have people progress. Unfortunately, with him, no progression. No progression when it comes to Connors. None whatsoever. And I'm not understanding why. So at this point, now I did get a report that Dieter was out there. Thank God. Um, Again, he has that foot injury. He wasn't really in practice. He was kind of like off to the side, just kind of getting his body back. That's a great sign. My goodness. At this point, forget trying to get Connor and squeezing him in there. It makes no sense. We just might as well not even do it. Might as well not even do it. So, my question to you guys, do you think, or what do you think we're going to see tomorrow? Because I think overall, our offense and defense, we did better than the Bucs offense and defense overall. Now, I'm not saying by like leaps and bounds, but we felt good leaving there. Now, they will claim that they did better because they actually were able to get a point off. But I still say overall, our defense was actually moving. Now, I did stall a few times. That was rather frustrating, but it's going to happen. I'm not too worried about that. But I am happy to see that at least our defense hasn't missed a beat. And when you're going against Brady, and no matter who he's got as playmakers, he's Brady, he's going to make plays. You know what I mean? As far as our offense with Tua, excuse me. Sorry about that, guys. Ooh, excuse me. The sniffles. He he looked better. I've seen progression in the last few days, and granted, guys, I was there Saturday and Sunday. Saturday, no, I don't know what happened. Teddy, awful, awful. Sunday, way better. Tua did all right. Saturday, Sunday, much better, much better. Today, I mean, I rated him a 7, but that's because he went from a 5.5 to a 7. You know what I mean? So yeah, so that's where I had him. Here, I would say he probably did like a 6.75, like a 6.75. I would say. Um, bless you. Oh, bless you too, Jeremiah. Much appreciated. The Noah Ibenagani experiment should come to an end ASAP. Miami Kid, if you say that, then you gotta say the same thing about Tua and Austin Jackson. That's unfair. How are you gonna give Tua and Austin Jackson both 2 years to actually be on the field when Noah hasn't even gotten a chance to be on the field? And if I'm not mistaken, he's only 22. This kid he came out as a freshman essentially from college. No way on earth he was gonna get all of this. His body was tiny, and from what I'm hearing, he got a little bit bigger, bulked up a little bit. He's not getting creamed like most people are saying left and right. No. But he is working out through some kinks. So you have to be fair. If you're going to talk about two and you want to give him, this is a year for him to shoot, you got to do the same thing for Noah Benami. You got to do it. And one thing, too, I want to see what we have in that first round pick because that's a lot of capital. A lot of capital on an 18th overall pick that doesn't pan out. You know what I mean? You don't ever want to see that. You do not ever want to see that. So because of that, nope. Noah's here to stay, and I can't wait to see him in preseason. I can't wait to see him in the regular season. To me, he needs to play regular season games and back up Byron Jones. I mean, that's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Let's see here. Ooh, 1 second. Ooh. Water break. All the Phins tailgates coming up. Yeah. Thank you, Capitan. He's coming up here in a little bit, guys. So I appreciate you. We're gonna go back and forth because I know he's got his own show. So I believe he's going on at 9:30, which I'm gonna be tuning in, guys. So we'll talk about that in a second. Now, as far as having this team, man, I wish I could pull it up, and for some reason, I can't get it. This is not working for me right now. It's rather frustrating not being able to get these videos for you guys. But I'm sure El Capitan's gonna have them for you tonight. Um, it happens sometimes, whenever you have technical difficulties. But listen, if I can pull him up while he's up here, we're doing it. You know what I mean? Now, guys, one thing I will say is there were flashes. This defense definitely flashed. They definitely flashed. Whenever you're able to go ahead and frustrate Tom Brady, you're Gucci. You're good. And for our offense to hold their own, not bad. Now, could it be better? Of course. Let's not lie. But for the most part, it's what we got to deal with at this moment. You know what I mean? Now, there was something that I was trying. Let me see if I can go ahead and get something here for you guys. We're trying to give you guys the best of the best over here on the Miss Fins channel. Miss Fins, level up Miss Fins. You guys already know. I'm gonna go ahead and do it. Let's see here. Oh, there it is. Okay. Yep, there it is. So definitely, what was I gonna say, guys? Is this it or no? Sorry about that. When things come up, you gotta read them. Now, let's see here. Let me go over what I mentioned tonight. So, because I want to go over and show you guys kind of like how I had it. So let me go back there. Maybe I can pull it up from here from my actual Twitter account. During one-on-one in the trenches, Raekwon and Jalen Phillips were the only starters to win their initial reps. Hello, Omar Kelly. Thank you for that, sir. Let's see here. Oh, it was pretty cool that Chris Godwin and Mike Gesicki, both former teammates, college teammates, they did link up again. Very happy about that. Thank you, Adam Beasley. Let's see here. Now, there was a time that Bucks were doing the intermediate passes. Like I told you, we took away the dink and dunks from Brady. And we ended up having doing the dink and dunks. There are a lot of cover 2 defense on the 7-on-7 as well that we had to deal with. So that allowed us to go ahead and ding and dunk, if you will. Now, this is one thing that I am a little concerned, and this is why I wanted to pull it up. So good job, Miss Vince. Waddle did have like a 35, 40-yard kick return. Great, right? Who doesn't want that? I'm concerned because I'm not trying to put my 6th overall pick kick returning. So I don't know about you, but this is not the smartest thing ever. It really isn't, in my opinion. The computer is still in preseason mode. Yo, Jeremiah, for the win today. Hey, I guess mine is in preseason too, man, because this puppy, gosh. But yeah, I'm not trying to have my 6th round pick do all that. You know what I mean? So let's go ahead and bring the one, the only El Capitan. How you doing, El Capitan?
I'm doing all right. How you doing, Miss Phins?
Oh, doing well. Look at you in your background. I'm loving the. I'm loving.
Yeah, yeah, it's the temporary fix for now.
Hey,
Still building the new studio and stuff like that, and so yeah, we'll be. Good night, buddy.
Like that.
Aww. Bye, buddy.
You.
Watch out! Don't let the dog hit the cord, bro.
Adorable. How old is he?
He's 9. He'll be 10 in October. They
Oh,
had their first day of school today. Him and his sister.
oh, look at
Yeah,
that. That's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah,
Look at
yeah.
that. Okay, okay.
She's in middle school. She's 12, so she's almost a teenager. And I know. And then I got
Good luck.
this dog here that's constantly in my life. All right, get dog. Oh, oh my God, he's gonna take all this stuff down. Yeah, so we're trying to get the studio done. So this is temporary for now. So I'm still building the studio. I got badly sunburnt doing it the other
Really?
day, and yeah, and like COVID was running rampant around here, and
Oh,
so
no.
my immune system was down, so I caught COVID. I've been tore up from the floor up the last 3 days. I
How
mean,
are you still here? Like,
oh well, I mean, I'm on the mend now. You know what I'm saying? Like I do same thing I do most of the time I get sick. I just sleep and sweat it out and try to take over the counter medication and ride
mhm.
it out and good. But man, it was dicey there for a minute. I'll tell you what, it like up until about this morning, even still this morning, my whole body felt like I was hit like a Mack truck. Just
Ugh,
holy cow, it hurt. But
really?
I'm better now. So shake
Ah,
it
that's
off.
good.
Watch
Hey,
out now. Got the purple jacket on, ready to go.
yeah, you look like the Joker. I'm loving it.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
see
So,
you, see
come
you.
back. Watch out now. Come
Hey,
on now. Can't keep a good guy down.
exactly. What is it? What was that quote? And here we go. You know,
Come on.
awesome, awesome,
Good night,
awesome.
baby.
Night.
Love you, baby.
So listen, I gotta get it from you. I gotta know. What are you thinking right now? Joint practice. Talk to me. Want to
Okay,
hear
so
some
by
snippet?
all accounts and all reports, good stuff. Great stuff from the defense. Great stuff from the defense. Christian Wilkins straight mauling fools.
Right?
Straight mauling fools. Looked by all accounts from beat reporters to people that I've talked to that were there to listening to even TD say it himself that Christian Wilkins looked better than Vita Vea out there. So and like just straight swarming, just unstoppable. He gonna get that super contract this year.
Oh,
Boy,
oh,
they're gonna have to like franchise tag him or something because they're like
yeah.
I said it like you're gonna have to be careful. He'll probably get $100 million deal when you have a D tackle that plays top 3 in their position in a contract year. They always get like $100 million. That's just how it goes. Now we might get the hometown discount because we drafted him and he might want to stay here. I think he does. So I hope that's the case. But
Hmm.
I said a while back, as you know, we should have traded him while the trading was good. You can get 2 firsts, and Chris Greer just lost a first, so that might still happen.
Jeez.
So, not that I want to see him go, but I like this flexibility with the extra firsts and stuff like that, especially with an owner like we got. So I like to,
Oh, don't
always
even get me
be.
started on that.
We gotta. That's why I like our general manager. He does not only does he pick talent, not only does he pick coaching, not only does he handle all the nonsense, but he has to do damage control from the owner
Oh
himself. I mean, the
God.
guy's not only is this one of the hardest jobs in the world,
Hmm.
only 30K,
Already.
but he's got the hardest of them. Like he's
Yeah.
got the hardest of them. You know what I'm saying?
God, I think the only other guy would be the one for the
For,
Commanders. That's it.
oh
That's
yeah, maybe,
probably it.
maybe. Well, I don't know. That guy probably loves his job. So you know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
commanders suck. They ain't trying to do nothing as apparent as they are. He's actually trying to do his job good. The commanders GM, I bet you he enjoys a lot of what's going on around there because they got all kinds of nonsense.
Hey, Spirit Fingers, love in the background. Thank you, thank you. Upgrading it. You know what I mean? Upgrading everything here.
Yeah, I
The look.
love the thumbnails. Thumbnails are
Thank you,
dope, man. I
thank
love them.
you.
They're nice. I was like,
Yeah.
ooh, these
Well, six
thumbnails.
months, 2 days ago. So I was like, you
Yeah.
know what? I didn't get a chance to elevate it. That's how I was like, you know what? I'm doing it today.
Time to
So
shake and bake. Yeah, I
yeah, I
got you.
gotta
Yeah,
change it
yeah.
up. Show the production, higher
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
quality, bring him in.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah,
give me
yeah.
some great pointers too. So I
If you're
appreciate
always evolving and always changing,
it.
the algorithm, the thing, it stays fresh, it keeps new. It's what it is, and the best thing too. is see what's working out there for other people, not just
Mhm.
in this, but like YouTube in general. See what's working. Like, those, like, I hate to say it, but those weird, like, pictures where they're like opening up boxes and it's somebody with like a surprised face and it's a sticker and that stuff. That works for kids and it'll work good if your settings are for kids. Like mine's for adults, so it ain't working for me. But
Yeah.
I'm just being real. Like you gotta shake it. This is something you're trying to build and it's a lot of hard work, as you know. So
Exactly. And look, Mike C. He even welcome back, Mike C. He says tag Wilkins. I
yeah,
agree. We
I
gotta do
think
it.
I think they're gonna have to tag him next year because unless he works it out, maybe he'll take maybe it's $100 million contract, but it's
That
only
guarantee is gonna have to be.
58 million guaranteed or something like
I
that.
don't know if that's gonna cost. I think it gotta be like 65 plus.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If it's like 58, man, if it's like 58, 59, and it's like a lot of incentives and it's over 6 years or 5 years, maybe he'll be
Oh, I'd
nice. I
give
don't
him a
think so.
6 year contract though. If I'm gonna give him 100 mil and give him
Well, the thing about
what
D linemen,
65,
D linemen don't hit their stride till about 30, 31. Like they're at their best. Like that's why Agba getting paid when he got paid. This is gonna be the best Agba we're ever gonna see. I really think Agba's the dark horse on the D line this year. If you want to be real, I think he's gonna show that not only
We're
was he
showing out
worth all the
today.
money, not only is he worth the money, but he's gonna be worth way more than the money we paid him. I think
Oh,
he's
of
gonna show
course.
out.
And on
So
top of that too, the caps is going up too. They see that as
yes,
well.
yes, yes.
And I
Well,
think the
and
market's gonna reset as well too.
it kind of has to, if you want to be real. It has to because if you remember, it went back a couple of years, and that never happened. The COVID went back and all that other stuff. So it's gonna have to come back up around what it was. Um, the Dolphins traded Adam Shaheen. It cleared up, I think, 1.8 million in cap space. That brings them
Yeah,
to
just
22.
about two
Brings
mil
up,
almost.
yeah, brings the Dolphins up to 22 million in cap space now. So,
Almost 23. So hey, we
I
didn't need him. Let's be real.
no, I mean it was a smart move. What are you talking about? He's out of
We
here.
didn't need him.
I haven't even heard his name called or seen his jersey out there at all.
No, not at
And
all.
he's not a bad player. I don't know why people are so off Adam Shaheen. I mean,
No, he's a solid player. Solid player. It's just we gotta see what we have in Hunter Long. So
mm,
that's why, in my opinion. And Jason, welcome to Miss Finch. No, no, we are not. How would we be beefing when I was just talking to him last night? So no, we are not
mm,
beefing. It's just I have my show tonight,
yeah, I mean
and
these
he has
shows
a show
end
Saturday.
and then you can watch them later and stuff. That's how
Exactly.
it
You guys
works.
can
Yeah,
definitely watch them too.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, But what was I gonna say? But yeah, there's no beef, man. TD's my guy. Like that's
Mm-mm.
come on. He's like the godfather. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Yeah,
Of the
yeah.
Dolphins community.
TD literally. Well, I mean, the way he helps everybody when they're small time and helps everyone up. I mean, one of the nicest guys
Exactly.
I've ever seen, bro, and genuine as that gets too. Like, I mean, it
I
warms my
finally
heart.
got to meet him too.
Oh
I
yeah,
got
he
to
did at the
meet him
thing.
on Sunday. I was so happy. I was like, TD. Like it
Color
was
got to meet him too at in the Dolphins practices out there.
that's
Yeah,
awesome.
Color got to see him too. Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
get to meet TD one day. He's just what a gem of a guy, though, for real. I mean, all the stuff he does, not just for Dolphins community, being a creator on YouTube, but like the creators ourselves. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? He's the bomb. He really is. So,
Agreed. So, to me, honestly, I'm very happy with what I saw today in the joint practice. I wanted us to get challenged as far as our defense, and I'm glad that it stepped up.
mm,
I'm glad that it didn't take a step back. You could see that it's like they haven't left from back year, from last year. They had the same intensity they had from last year, and they're
hmm.
only adding on to it with guys with like Melvin
Miss
Ingram.
Finns, were you at the practice day?
No, I wasn't at the practice.
Oh,
Everybody
what?
thought I was.
I thought
Everybody
you were
thought.
there.
Everybody thought I was
Hey,
there.
you sneaky, sneaky.
Oh gosh, no, no, no,
Good.
no, 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 no. I was working, but
You should have said, "Yeah, I was there."
yeah, I mean, I was there in spirit. Yeah,
Yeah, my doppelganger was there.
exactly. There you go. But no, I was trying to update everybody with everything that I was hearing and everything that I've seen as quickly as I could because I know not everybody has a chance to. get the NFL Network or things like
Hmm.
that. So that's why I was trying to give everybody updates. But you're not the first one that has seen that. So I guess there's something right. Yay.
So did you hear that Michael Dieter made an appearance?
Yes, thank goodness. Because Connor is done. I was just talking about it a little earlier. I'm like, I'm done with Connor's and then Connor's experience. He needs to go back to left guard. Let's keep Eichenberg as his backup. And Dieter needs to absolutely be the only center. He's good
Mm,
as a center. He's just not the best. Can we upgrade? Absolutely. He's our best backup
I don't know
playing
personally.
as
I don't
center.
have any faith in Dieter. The consistent thing about him is that he keeps losing his job to other people. So that's the consistent thing about Dieter. And
Nah.
I listen. I know I'm throwing a little shade on the guy and everything like that, but I don't know. Look, in a perfect world, he would do fine at that. But honestly, with the Adam Shaheen uh, trade and Preston Williams and
Oh, he's gone. He gave
Lynn
himself
Bowden,
away, if we're being
bo-
honest.
both of those guys being on the trading block, going to clear up the cap space. And it's said now, this early before preseason game one, I would I would almost guarantee that another center is going to be brought in here within the next 3 weeks.
I'm hoping, and the thing is, I'd rather it be earlier than later.
I
Not
agree.
because like Daisy Treader is available. Man, Treader, I'm over Treader at this point. He wants to
Yeah,
be
I am too.
ballerina and wants to hold himself. He might hold himself out of a job because at this point, teams are only gonna do what they can do. They're gonna make cuts. People are gonna pick up those cuts, and on top of that too, not everybody has money to be spending like he wants.
And I think he's making a smart play at the same time, though, because somebody goes down in camp. Someone's number one center goes down with an injury, and that's the
Bucks.
first person everyone's calling. Yeah, I know, but he still was seen out on the field. Like they're still expecting it. Like I'm talking someone season-ending injury
Yeah,
blows their ACL, and they're a team that believes that they're in contention or something like that.
yeah.
They're gonna call them up right away. So
Yeah, I
I
feel
don't
you.
know. I don't know. I worry about him being his age playing it. And I know he hasn't had an injury history, but this system requires absolute sprinting again and again and again. You need to have, I said this early back when we first got Mike McDaniel, and I said, this is an offensive line by committee. It's not really, I like that there's all starters, but really you're going to see guys rotate in because nobody on the football team on the offensive side is going to run more than the offensive lineman. These guys are going to be asked to run. I know so. I know this scheme. I ran it in high school. This outside zone, first of all, it sucks to play defense against. It sucks to play defense against. It hurts because I played a lot of linebacker, and you're essentially asked to read and get parallel and try to just look through traffic and see the holes and get through them before the running back does. Now, the problem with it works two ways. So, as a linebacker, the O line takes the snap and that's everyone goes left. Now, say this isn't a trap play. Say one of the guys didn't pull and come back the other way and the ball's going the other direction. Say it is all going left. So that's the first part. We don't even throw the monkey wrench into the ordeal. So everybody's going left. Here comes it's a sweep. It's all going. There's a fullback out in front. It's out of a power eye. It's going to the tailback. Tailback's got it. He's got a fullback out in front of him. Everyone's running left. So now the linebackers, first of all, the D tackles have to lock up to their guy. The D linemen have to lock up to their guy, and they're kind of just running with them, trying to beat their blocks, stop their gaps. And you're a linebacker trying to look through traffic, running along. And when you see the hole open, you want to try to hit it and get inside to stop them. Well, typically this you can do this, but it happens couple yards past the line of scrimmage. You know what I'm saying? And other times when it's a good block, or say you did a stunt on the inside, so now your tackle's bouncing to the outside, and your D lineman is jumping in. Well, that's screwed up. That was a terrible call at this point because now your whole left side is wide open. So now their tackle, their tight end, whoever is getting to the second level, blocking your linebackers. So
And there goes the runner.
there goes. So here comes, say, the Will from the other side comes over here. He fills the hole. Well, he thinks he's going to see a running back, or he's trying to fill a hole. He didn't even realize that the fullback is coming and smacks him right in the mouth. Boom, boom, and that's it. I'm telling you, it's a bruising, hard downhill run game. So it's a lot of work to play against. And in today's NFL, when everyone has a lot of lighter, more
Shiftier.
speedy, shiftier linebackers, you could really put a beating on somebody real bad in this scheme.
This is a problem, though. If that's the case, El Capitan, then what are we doing? Because we're going to need a lot more than just the players that we have.
Well, I don't know about that. I mean, we have young guys, which really that's what you're going to need. You're going to need young, fresh leg guys. And on the contrary of what everyone believes, and not a lot of people are going to talk about this because honestly, they don't know. They like to think they do, but they don't. You don't even have to be the most technically sound or best offensive lineman to run this scheme effectively. You just need to stay in your gap and have enough wheels to not let the guy run you over that's next to you and get to the second level and get to your mark points. That's it. You don't have to have perfect hand placement, and stuff like that and hold this guy up. That's not necessarily what you have to do. What you need to do is do your job and get out to your keys because it's an outside zone. So you got to get out here. So you got to go, okay, I need to get to the second level and find my man. Now, yeah, you need to have good technique at that point. But if you're a guard and you're hitting a linebacker 4 or 5 yards off the ball, whether you held him or not, you've done a decent enough job for the running back to do some business. I can't hear you.
I'm so sorry, Cap. My
What?
mother called me
Oh,
twice
no
back
worry.
to back, so I figured
No worry.
let me answer her real quick. Tell her, give me a few minutes, Ma.
No problem. No problem.
But you know
Back,
what?
speak.
And you make a great point because then this entire team is by committee. If you look at it, running back by committee, with the exception of wide receivers, running back by committee, O line by committee. Um, and if you go in defense, realistically, what you have your secondary, which is kind of set. Um, the second that okay, the defense itself is kind of set. Maybe the linebackers is probably by committee at most, but other than that,
I don't know. I could
defense
see
is set.
us. I could see us bringing in another corner.
You think so?
Yeah, I
Because
mean Noah's. I mean, look, maybe, but and Keon Crosson's doing pretty decent. But I know they had higher hopes for Quincy Wilson. It's still early,
of
so
course.
Keon Crosson's doing all right. But hmm,
Look at the good color of Cap is here.
I know he's got the mask on and shit.
Mhm.
But,
Ridiculous. Look, Delusional
um,
says Bucks lost another center. JC might be going there. I don't think JC's going there
I
only
don't think so.
because it was a
Now
cramp. You know what I
that
mean?
would be a better fit if he did go down because
Really?
that's yeah for him. I mean, look, they're gonna pass the ball and play that. That center ain't pulling and running all over the place. Like they're doing a lot of power gap schemes and stuff like that. They're not doing outside zone or inside zone. They're just not. It's not what they're gonna ask him. I'm telling JC Treader don't want to do it here. I don't blame him. It's a young
He
man's
already
game.
knows. He
It's a
already knows.
young man's game. Now,
Who can
I,
we get then, in your opinion? Because
I don't know.
at this
Honestly,
point, I don't know who's out there.
I
I'm
don't.
waiting for cuts at this point because I just don't know who's out there really that would fit this scheme.
There's a couple of teams that have extra centers. So I think the Colts are one that have like 3 centers on their roster right now.
What the?
Yeah, the Bears have 4. Um,
Oh my god!
they're guard, but they're centers. Like they're centers. They're training as guards and stuff like that. So there's a couple of teams that have extra centers, and no team carries. If you ain't cutting it in the guard situation, someone's gonna get cut. So who knows? And hey, we got 2 guys sitting on the trading block. Maybe Maybe we could trade for somebody
Yeah, which that was my next thing for you, real quick, because I know that we got Shaheen out, but who's next on the trading block, in your opinion? Honestly,
outside of Bowden
and Preston.
and Preston.
Hmm. Like realistic, not
Solomon
like
Kinley.
you think so? Yeah, I
Yeah,
haven't heard that. I haven't heard that. Interesting. Why so?
I haven't heard a peep of him in any good thing at all. And that's not good coming from a draft pick who has value and out of a power run scheme, he's effective. Like if the Packers were looking for a guard, I'd be shouting them up for the trade for Solomon Kinley because he would do perfect for them in that aspect.
Look
Um,
at this. Miami Kid says I will package Preston, Bowden, Eric Rowe plus a third for Roquan. That was my
uh,
next question to you.
no, do not trade Eric Rowe. That is a mistake. I know a lot of people want to get rid of Eric
A
Rowe,
lot of people
especially
want to
because
get
there's
rid of
$6 million to get back on there. I'm telling you, Eric Rowe is an unsung hero on the team. He's a leader. All of these CBs, everybody. Now, don't get me wrong. Is he a liability in some like okay when you take out Javon Holland or Brandon Jones and put Eric Rowe in there, yes, there's a drop off. But
him.
a lot of teams have their number one safety or nickel corner is Eric Rowe. So, and he's still young. I think he's what, only 28, maybe 29. He's not like in his 30s
No,
or anything.
he's not. He's not in his 30s yet.
So, Eric Rowe, I wouldn't because that's how you use up your talented guys with no rotation and then one of your guys get hurt and late in the season when we're trying to make a run for the playoffs. We ain't got Holland or something like that because Eric Rowe ain't there to fill it in. You know, so I wouldn't. You do that, then we're keeping Clayton Fedulum, and I don't want that. So come on, let's just
Clayton
be real.
Fraudulent.
Come
Man,
on,
people have been trying to get rid of him for like 8 years, I feel like. This man, I know he's only been in the team for like
I
two or
don't know.
three, but
People
still.
apparently he must got some. I think Clayton
Because he
Fedulum's
was
the
a
one that had.
captain last year.
Listen, Clayton Fedulum's the one that had all the dirt that came out on Stephen Ross. That's how he's been on the team this whole time.
He's like, you want any more dirt to come out?
Yeah, he must have some
I better
extra
get
dirt.
this signing
Yeah,
bonus.
boy, that's right. He goes 100,000 a game right now.
Yeah, exactly.
100,000 a
That's
game.
hilarious. That's hilarious. But honestly, yeah, I can see where you're coming from with Eric Rowe. The one thing I would say, and the only reason why I say I wouldn't be surprised if they let him go, is because just like we did with Kyle Van Noy, so that Andrew Van Ginkel can get those reps. You won't develop unless you have those reps. And right now, Noah, I feel like it's not getting that opportunity like Austin Jackson did, or even Tua, because both of them got the opportunity to actually play games consistently. Noah hasn't gotten that opportunity. So
Honestly, that's who
by
I
getting
would
rid of
trade.
Eric Rowe, what?
I would trade Noah for Roquan Smith right now.
Yeah, but they're not gonna do it straight up.
Why not? That's a first round draft pick.
They're not gonna do it straight
What
up.
are you talking
Well,
about?
why haven't you guys played them yet? Is exactly what they're gonna say.
Because like are you kidding me? We got two of the best corners in the league. What are you talking about? We haven't had to. Listen, we had a bad regime. Chris Greer, I could sell it. So I know Chris Greer can sell it. Maybe you got to put a little cheddar on, maybe a third or something like that. Take one of those extra linebackers we got. Say, hey, you know what? You're missing a linebacker. Take I don't know the Portis guy that we just got, or
Uh,
I don't want to say Sam McGuavin, but I guess might as well take Sam McGuavin. There you
yeah,
go.
we'll see. Jason, thank you so much. I had to stop by to show my girl Miss Phins some love. Best female Dolphins YouTuber in history. Well, first of all, that's way too much, but I
I'm not
appreciate
nuts,
it.
Jay Zan. I'm trying to win the trade. You're talking about giving up three players and a third rounder. Why would they do that?
Well, first round for first round, hands up. Delusional agrees with you,
Yeah,
but
I
it might
mean,
be too much. It might be too much to give Iggy plus a Guavin plus what you said,
no. I
fifth or
would say
something.
Iggy and Aguavin. That was it.
Oh, okay. Because I thought I heard an extra pick too, and I'm like,
Well, I mean,
then that might be a
maybe
little
if I had to,
sweetness.
slide a little sweetener on there to get him, maybe I
A
don't know.
fifth at most, but I'm not trying to give up nothing.
I don't know. Is Roquan still under his rookie contract?
Um,
I don't know his contract details. I've only, listen. I've
I
been
haven't
down and
looked
out.
at it yet in details. I think, if I'm not mistaken, he is. He hasn't got his big major contract yet.
Mm,
Like he's looking for money, like 20 mil. We
mm.
have the money. I'm not trying to spend it on one player
Yeah,
though.
man, well, one thing
I'm just
people
saying.
don't know, Miss Finns, is that we haven't shook down any players yet. That means we haven't restructured with much of anybody. Only
True.
Clayton Fedulum for like 2 million for whatever reason, and Byron Jones got shook
Byron.
down for a little bit. So other than that, and this team made a living for years. There was like a whole decade where our cap was just shaking down players we already had. Remember? You remember. So we haven't done any of that. And we could probably shake down a couple of players and squeeze out 30 extra mil right now if we wanted to. Plus the cap's gonna go up. I don't want to hear about what we can and can't afford. That ain't what
So
I'm
right
worried
now for
about.
you, we can make it happen. Is what you're saying.
Yeah, I think
We can
so.
make that happen.
Now the one thing I don't want to give up is capital. That's different. Draft picks are the real value in the NFL.
Why? I'd rather get people because at this point you don't know with a draft pick.
Well, because I mean, okay, maybe not draft picks, but first round draft picks are. You know what I'm
First
saying?
rounders, okay. I
And
give you
second, I
that
mean,
one
listen, they
because you could flip those for other ones. But
I don't know. I've just enjoyed controlling the draft and doing things like that. And it's how we got Tyreek in the building. I mean, let's
it
be
is
real.
true.
You want to make moves like that, you got to have draft picks. And that was the only way we did it. So,
Thank you, Delusional. So apparently he's an undrafted free agent for
see, look at that. We're doing them a damn favor.
2023.
They get Noah for at least this year and 2 more years for crying out loud with the 5th year
Rookie
option.
rookie contract. That is
Yeah.
true. That
So
is
look
true.
at that. They're getting 2 whole years and a 5th year option. All right,
So
Miss
you.
Fins. I gotta run.
Oh
I gotta
gosh,
do mine in
yes,
like 10 minutes.
yes, exactly. Well, listen, El Capitan, thank you so much for
No
joining
problem.
tonight. I
Sorry I
really do
couldn't get on here
appreciate it.
earlier.
No,
So
no, no, it's okay. I get it.
I'll see you.
I'll see you.
Take it easy,
Bye
Miss
bye.
Vince. Later, everybody. Hit the like button, everyone.
Hmm. But there you go, guys. Like honestly, we got a little squeeziness over here with El Capitan. Very very happy to go ahead and have him over here. You're a unrestricted free agent. Yes, appreciate it. Color, welcome back. Appreciate you here. What's up, Canes? I see you, Canes. No, bro. NFL team will give up a couple copy for Raekwon. Unrestricted. Yeah, I said it. Delusional. Thanks. Unrestricted free agent. And you got me. You got me. You got me with the extra D. That's why. Oh, mommy, kid, you got me. Can't complain. Yeah, but he would be franchise tag. They would never let him go for free. Oh, absolutely not. Why would they let him go for free? When you have somebody as explosive as him, I wouldn't give him up for free either. So let's be real. That's not yeah, that's not right. But unrestricted free agent. I know that's what you meant. My brain was weird for you, DFA. No worries, delusional. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. And you know what? I'm gonna give y'all a couple of minutes here. Why? Because why not? You guys want to go ahead and come up? I'm gonna give you about another few minutes. If y'all want to come up, you don't have to. Let's still got some more stuff to talk about. Definitely, there's the link right there. Go ahead and come to the back. And we can talk for a few more minutes because I want to stay up too long. I know that Al Cap is coming in 10 minutes, so I want to get out of here before then. Plus I got my own stuff to do with. Anywho, California, welcome back. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Listen, yeah, Jason. Which that sounds like Jason, which I feel like that's what your name is, Jason 7117. I like that. That's a cool name. But it's true. Do we need someone like Roquan? A lot of people will say yes. I would like to think that if we had him, it would automatically instantly put us in the top three defense because that middle linebacker it has been an issue, and you guys already know that's one of the main reasons why we got Shannon Tyndall. Now Tyndall, I haven't really heard much from him. He's been pretty quiet, but other than that, I'm very happy with the fact that we got him. As you guys already know, with Tyndall, we really got him here for our spy. For him to spy on these quarterbacks like a Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson, or even, to be honest with you, even Mac Jones. Like, Mac Jones doesn't do it often, but even the one a couple times he does. Yes. Let's see here, Jason. You say, Miss Finn, you should do a podcast with Rico from Buffalo Fanatics. He's hella cool, and I'm sure he will come on your show. That's so funny, Jason. You said that. I reached out to him on Twitter. I'm hoping to see if he can reply back, because I'd love to have him, especially to preview our week 3 game. That would be awesome. So I'm working on trying to go ahead and see if I can get Rico over here, because I'm subscribed to Buffalo Fanatics. I think they're great. They have great content, obviously. Max Scoot Jones, cute. So I'm hoping that I can get him, and I'm gonna try to see if I can collab with. That's one of the major things that I'm working on, and trying to find other YouTubers, content creators that are for the opposing team, and seeing how we can go ahead and collaborate together. Not really for the preseason, but more for like regular one. I think Rico is the best one. Hey, I think Rico is one of the best. Dan Mitchell's also another great one for the Buffalo Bills. I know that TD, he does the roundtable with TD, and Richie for the Jets, and obviously Master at Twerk. So I know they do their their show together. But as far as for Rico, I reached out. I'm hoping that it's gonna be good. I think Color's gonna be on his show soon. Him and El Capitan. Yeah, I know. Master at Work. I know. Yeah, I mean, El Capitan is coming on in a few minutes, actually. So, but that's why I put it out there. If you guys want to come up here, go ahead and do so. If not, no worries, because honestly, you guys were pretty awesome here. I really appreciate you guys showing up, showing your girl some love. Absolutely. Definitely, definitely, definitely love it. And of course, appreciate it. So, let's see here. Now, as far as Mitchell doesn't know squad, you don't think Dan Mitchell knows anything? What? I don't know. Not my Patriots YouTuber. He's not your Patriots YouTuber. You don't like Master at Work? Well, okay. And we got, look at this. We got color in the
Didn't think I was
building,
gonna leave
ladies.
you out, did you, Miss Phins?
What
Dang,
color?
it
Well,
ain't my
this is
show tonight. I can be late.
awesome. Listen, this is the new layout for the new Misfits,
Looks
obviously, as you
great.
can
It
see.
really does.
Thank you, thank you. I figured, change it up, upgrade it for the folks. This is kind
Well,
of
you
like
already
a
know how I feel about your outro.
Oh, thank you, thank you. Did you catch the intro? When you go back and watch the replay, guys, look at the intro, because
Yeah, I'm
I
gonna
work
have to
hard on
do
the
that.
intro. Yes, and I'm working on an outro too, a new outro. I should have it done tonight, so I can put it on here. But yes, you guys already know. You
Well,
can
the
see.
music can change. Just don't change your style how you go out because it's perfect. You know what I mean?
Oh, thank you, thank you.
How you
Yeah, no,
kind of
that.
start it up a little bit, talk over the music a little bit. That's perfect.
Oh, appreciate it. Yeah, no, that hasn't changed. I'm just working on, changing a few of the sounds, and actually having like maybe like something else for the end. So
Hmm.
we're still working on it to upgrade it, because again, it's my way of saying thank you to all you guys, all your fans, because um, you know, this is for everybody. It's for you guys, and you guys support, and it keeps me going. And I want to continue to actually do this even more. And I definitely invested a lot of time and money on this to be able to go ahead and make this happen. And I realized that a better quality production does go a long way, and it's something that you and I have spoken about that
Yeah,
before. So
absolutely, absolutely.
definitely
So,
excited
so
about that.
speaking of collaboration, we got live football this weekend. So Thursday night I'll probably be running over a little preview. Let me know if you got time to jump on for 10 or 20 minutes or something.
Thursday night? What do you mean? What's happening Thursday night?
Nothing special, just my show. Just color commentary on Thursday
Oh,
night.
just what? What, like tomorrow night? What do you
Oh, it
mean?
is tomorrow. It is tomorrow
Oh,
night
is it
already, ain't
tomorrow?
it? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well,
We got games tomorrow. we got games to kind of pick at tomorrow too, even though they're not our teams and they ain't gonna be
Mhm.
playing nobody. But
Well, you know what? Let me take a look at it. I should be able to do it. What time are you planning on going on? Because I have
oh,
my show in the morning.
I know you usually don't go too late, so it just depends. I might go a little early tomorrow. It's always up in the air these days on Thursday, but we got live football tomorrow with other teams, so I'm more just wanting to get your thoughts on whether you think we're going to play, whether we're going to see Tua at all on Saturday.
Oh man, we could definitely discuss that for sure. Unless you
Yeah,
want to discuss it right now, but I know you want to work on it tomorrow.
yeah, that's a little longer conversation, but
Exactly.
I don't
Um,
think the fan base wants him to sit, but kind of the history of Mike McDaniel coming from the 49ers, that's kind of how they roll over there, you know.
yeah, it's a disservice to the fans, in my opinion. You gotta be there at least for half the first quarter, in my opinion.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
But man, gosh, if the worst happens, you know how it is. Besides
and
the
we have
fact, how does that look optically if you're out there, you know, pumping out the message that you're wholeheartedly lockstep and barrel on supporting your quarterback, yet the teams that are doing that aren't playing theirs.
they're not.
Well,
Hmm.
no, I mean Derek Carr didn't play.
Oh yeah, Derek Carr definitely didn't play, but that was a Hall of Fame game, which I don't see why he wouldn't play, and neither did Trevor Lawrence. To me, that was a little weird. I don't know. I'm of the mindset that even though it is preseason, you gotta give the fans. I mean, people are still paying
Yeah,
for these
with so
ticks.
many questions we have that need answers, we really need to see guys in live action.
I
Just
need to see Tyreek and Tua
early.
together. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
So,
Because we got a lot of guys that haven't experienced full speed yet.
oh God, and that's the problem right then and there. Look who we got here, Mark. Welcome, Mark. How you doing?
Hey, Miss Phins, how you doing, caller?
Pretty good, Mark. How you doing?
I'm
Eh,
good. I had some thoughts about tomorrow's practice, since everything has been said about today's practice.
mhm.
Do you folks think that tomorrow the plan is to kind of open up the offense, throw the ball down the field to really get a true test of the offensive line?
Say that one more time. Sorry, I was reading and I
It's
didn't
okay.
pay attention. Say that one more time.
No, because today the short passing game was in play for both teams. Obviously, the Bucks had a lot of their or most of their big time receivers out except Julio Jones.
Mhm.
But tomorrow, what I'm wondering about is, are the Dolphins going to try the down the field passes, the deep passing game, and or the longer intermediate and the deeper passing game to see how the offensive line holds up? Because this is something that wasn't tested today.
And I see what you mean. Yeah. So as far as that, I did notice that most of our throws were dink and dunks. A lot of them. I would honestly have to say at least 75% of them. Maybe a handful of intermediate passes and
I
barely got.
think Teddy had the longest one of the day,
It was like 15
and
yards, not even. Like it was at
no,
least
I
I'm
thought
talking about 11 on
Teddy's
11.
was like about 25, 30 yards down the field, or maybe that's what the final outcome was.
Oh, probably. But as far as air yardage, it really was more like 15 yards. The problem is that this is the type of defense we want to go ahead and air it out because this is the defense we're gonna face for the most part,
Well,
and that's something that
Miss
was
Spence,
very.
what my thought is here is that you can't hit the quarterback now. So isn't now the time to go ahead and test this out? See if your blocking is holding up. See if you really do have an offensive line issue or not. Because today didn't prove anything.
Honestly, you're making a great point. I don't see. I could see how some people, and I'm seeing in the comment section, how are you don't want to tip the hand, but to be honest with you, this is where you want to. This is probably the safest way for you to showcase what you have in the joint practice. Not everything, but at least to try to go ahead and just practice. Honestly, at this point, with somebody other than your own defense.
Well, to
In
me,
my
it doesn't
opinion, you
matter
could do.
whether the throws down the field are complete or not. Right now, what's more important is the offensive line going to be able to provide the protection against a fairly good, well, I mean, against a very good defensive line by Tampa. Like I said, to me, it doesn't matter if the passes are complete or not. It matters more whether Tua has time to throw.
Um, yeah, I see what you mean. This offensive line, it's already worrisome. If we're gonna be honest, more than anything else, that middle is what I'm a little bit worried about with Connor and the issue that he's having with Tua and the snaps. But as far as seeing how much time they can give Tua, you really won't really get that opportunity until preseason game, and that's
Now, I see this is where I disagree. You're not going to show it in the preseason game because your quarterback can get hit. This is where you do it. You do it in the scrimmage this week with Tampa, and you do it in the scrimmage with the Eagles because your quarterback is not going to get hit. This is where you have to test this out.
okay. Well, yeah, this and again, it is a good idea to go ahead and test it out, but I understand why some people might be hesitant because they don't want to go ahead and give anything away, if you
You're
will.
not. I don't know how you're giving anything away. You run 9 routes. You run deep crosses, longer posts. Just you're not giving away trade secrets of what the offense is going to be. You're just running standard NFL patterns to see if your offensive line is going to hold up.
And to me, honestly, if anything, that probably will be something they need to go ahead and take a look at tomorrow. Will they? That's a whole nother story. I'm hoping that they do try longer passes because at this point, just thinking and dunking, we're already seen this movie. We need to go ahead and test the field.
Well, I
And
know. I no way do I believe that today was a representation of what the offense is going to be. So, but it's again the concern is twofold. From everything that I listened to today, the offensive line was still not generating any kind of a running game. So that's one issue. The outside of Armstead, the offensive linemen were not winning the one-on-ones, although whatever value a one-on-one is, even against an opposing defense. But if because of the continuity issue that comes into play, and it's the offensive line is the time that takes is the group that takes the longest time to have continuity. If changes have to be made, you need to make them as quickly as possible so that whatever you do with the offensive line has an opportunity to gel and be ready for 1 o'clock on September 11th.
that's why I want us to go ahead and whichever person we end up getting for an actual center, we need to hurry up and do that now. I said that I was just saying that with El Capitan literally like 5 minutes ago about how we better make this decision ASAP. Tomorrow is going to be one of those testaments where we're going to be able to go ahead and see how are we doing and do we really need to go ahead and get a new one. I feel like we do need to get an actual starting center, but I still don't think that they're gonna make that move till probably after Saturday, after they see what they have in an actual live game. That's just me.
Color,
Right.
your thoughts on the same question?
Go ahead, Color.
I'm sorry. On which question was it?
On the question of whether tomorrow they're going to air it out in the practice with Tampa to see how the offensive line holds up against longer patterns and see if they really have an issue with the offensive line or not.
Yeah, I can. I mean, I can see that. I mean, I can see them wanting to. What they really need to look to be looking at is getting more of these throws in tighter windows, like realizing that the the Buccaneers aren't gonna give them separation, but can I want to see Tua make throws, you know, into spots where it's just like NFL level separation, which is what we're seeing now that we're playing the Bucs. You know, I wouldn't care if we didn't run the ball at all tomorrow. More of the I mean I want to see more of the getting out of the pocket, more of the moving the pocket out of the way, more of what we were seeing in training camp over here.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
mean, honestly, it serves no purpose to continue to practice stuff that Tua is good at. In my opinion, it serves no purpose other than to make us feel good as fans.
Somebody
yeah.
just popped in with a comment about it's not a matter of whether I believe or anybody believes that Tua can throw deep or not. He can. But if he doesn't have the time to throw, that's the most relevant.
Right, exactly. That's
True.
Mark. Right, Mark's saying, can the offense go deep? Not just
Not
can
Not
Tua throw
necessarily
deep.
Tua,
We know
yeah.
Tua could go deep. I mean, he's shown the arm strength. That's not the point. But if he has 1.2 seconds to throw and he's forced to, make a short dump off read because there's no offensive line protection, then it takes the entire deep passing game away. And it's not on Tua. And what's going to sadly happen is if it ends up like that, people are going to blame Tua. They're going to say, "Oh, he's not the quarterback. He's not the guy. He's not the franchise." And again, if the man doesn't have protection, how does he have a chance to maximize his skill set?
The issue is that we already know what's going on with this offensive line. If we're being honest, we only have a right guard. That's literally the only solidified position in this entire offensive
Well, in
line.
Armstead, of course.
No, we got half of Armstead, if we're being honest, because he hasn't played a full season in forever. So if we're really honest, we got half of a left tackle and a solid right guard.
Actually, we
We
looked
know
at it
what's
the other
going on.
day, and Armstead averages about 11.6 games per year. Because
How
you
many
throw out
games
the
do we
rookie
have
year
right
of
now?
2 games, 11.6 is what his average is.
Okay, so 12 games out of 17. 5 games. Come on, man. That's a third of the season.
And right now, who is the backup left tackle?
Liam Meckenberg. No,
I
wait.
thought he's the starting guard.
Uh, Austin Jackson technically is the backup left tackle, but they're gonna
But
use
he's
him
starting at
as
right
the
tackle.
right tackle. That's the
So
problem.
is it Kellen Deesh? Is it was it the Lionel Coleman or Lionel Coleman?
I've yet to hear anything about Coleman or D.
Currently, the depth chart shows Larnell Coleman and Keon Smith is number 3.
Where's Deesh on the depth chart? I didn't look at the depth chart.
Isn't he injured?
Kellen Deesh is listed now as the 3rd right tackle behind Greg Little and Austin Jackson.
Jeez. So yeah. Mm,
I haven't heard much about Greg Little. He was like a 2nd-round pick, I believe, with Carolina. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
like a weird draft because you had 3.
Didn't he play for the Rams too at one point?
I remember that draft, and there were 3 tackles that come off the board. Bang, bang, bang. Jacksonville got a guy who's given up like 49 sacks in 60 games, and he's god awful. Buffalo.
Yeah, he was traded from Carolina.
And Little was the other pick, and he went to Carolina and busted out there. So there were like 3 second-round linemen in that 34 to 38 range, and they all turned out to be like total busts.
oh, again, we already know what's going on with this offensive line, and that's the problem. We don't have an offensive line. Even though El Capitan was saying it's more like offensive line by committee, depending because we do the outside zone. But even then, committee is looking really skinny right now.
Yeah,
And if we
no
can't
doubt.
handle that middle, more than anything else, if we can't handle that middle,
And
forget
if
it.
you think that the running backs are going to have ankle and ACL problems, what do you think the linemen are going to have? You know,
Well, I mean, the worst thing for any quarterback to deal with
Oh my God,
is up the middle pressure. And if there's issues, with the interior, with the center, with the guard next to Armstead, and Tua sees immediate pressure, his default is going to go to a check down because that's the way he thinks.
Mhm.
he's
And
got to be able to push through the walled garden, man. That's what I want to see. I don't care if they got too high. Just throw the dang ball, man. I don't care at this point.
So okay, if you don't care color, and that, you bring up a great point because a lot of people are already at that point where like I'm over it, just go ahead and throw it. How many? Because I think last year he got what, like 11,
10 interceptions.
10 interceptions.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the year before that he had like 6 or 7.
Yeah, it was 11. I think 11 TDs and 5 interceptions the first year, and then 16
There you go.
last year.
There you go. So where do you think he's going to end up if he is
Throws the ball down the field and they explore their offense in totality. I'm guessing about 30 touchdowns and about 18 picks.
I'm okay with the picks as long as they're not pick sixes, obviously.
If they're deep
But
patterns, they're punts.
and that was my next point. They're really just more field movers, changing of the field. And I think I've heard you say this too, Color. You're essentially just a glorified punt at that point. You know what I mean?
Right.
Um,
And I'll tell you where it really matters, as far as interceptions goes, because everybody has kind of different numbers with different numbers of games played, but it's really at the percentage, per drop back. So it's like Tua is at 21st at 2.6. There's a lot of guys around that area. But that's actually his first year. It was like 1.9 or so, or 1.8
so
or
they got
something.
better. They definitely got better.
No, he actually regressed a little bit. It was 1.7 now, and last year it was 2.6. But his touchdown percentage also
Oh,
went up.
I see what you mean. Yeah, sorry. I was thinking of the time that the um, offensive line gave him in the pocket. That's what I meant.
Right, but his
Yeah.
touchdown percentage also went up. So I mean, if you're talking about if that number stayed the same, or dropped a little, let's say it's 2%, you're going to have a natural increase of interceptions, but also a natural increase of pass attempts and touchdowns. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
it's all relative in that respect.
Every supposed elite quarterback in the league has that, except Aaron Rodgers.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There's a whole bunch of guys sitting right around that 2.5% area. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Whole bunch of guys.
Mahomes, Carr, Allen, Stafford.
Aaron
They're
Rodgers
all in the
is like
same boat.
number one with sub 1%.
Herbert. Aaron Rodgers is the only one who throws like 45 touchdowns and 5 interceptions, and nobody can figure
Right,
that out.
right. Let's see where he's at. Actually, I'm going to look at all of them again because I'm curious with
Color.
what's that?
I said I appreciate you looking it up.
Oh, no problem, no problem. Let's see here. Interception percentage. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers was number one with 0.8%.
Jeez.
Kirk Cousins came in second with 1.2%. Then you got Carson Wentz, Russell Wilson, and Teddy Bridgewater rounding out the top five. Teddy Bridgewater was 1.6%.
Well, he never goes down in the field, so that makes sense.
But his touchdown percentage is 4.2, which is higher, which is Tua's was 4.1. So, you're looking at touchdown production is the same as Tua's, but he takes care of the ball a little bit better, at least last year.
Well, that's something to.
I think a better receiving core in Denver, though. They had
Neither
QB
one
and
of
they
them are
had
scoring.
Cortland
Neither
Sutton.
one of them are scoring touchdowns. So it don't, you know what I mean? It's relative.
Yeah. Listen, Jason is asking Mark. I think a lot of people are sleeping on the Bills' revamp D line, not only because of the signing of Von Miller, but because of you guys with Tim Settle, Daquan Jones, Phillips, Lawson, to go with Oliver, Russo, and Basham. So you guys have a
Defensive line's been dominating, been very dominant in practices. However, today was the first practice day that the Bills had their first string offensive line all playing. Stafford was coming off the injury in the car accident with the ribs. Spencer Brown's coming off back issues. Ryan Bates just got back last week. Let's see. Morris has been there consistently, and Dawkins has been there consistently, but they've been a train wreck on the offensive line during camp, and the defense has been dominating. The issues that they're having is we still don't know whether Tre'Davious White's going to be back for opening game or not. And Elam, the first round pick, Elam has been getting schooled by Diggs and Davis consistently. And they really like their seventh round pick, Christian.
Well, maybe your quarterback shouldn't walk around calling everybody stupid rookies.
Oh, there you go.
He said that for real?
That's what I heard. I saw an article saying he's calling everybody stupid rookies.
I didn't hear any of that, but I'd have to see the article. I follow this stuff really, really close, and for the most part, the defense has dominated, and Allen and the offense has had days. Now, the guys that are really breaking out, it looks as though Isaiah McKenzie is going to be the starting slot, and now Crowder's back from injury, so he's looking really, really good. And they say Davis is completely unguardable. Diggs is Diggs. They haven't gotten a whole lot of O.J. Howard yet at tight end. but neither did Tampa Bay. So maybe that's no surprise.
Mm.
And the James Cook is just like off the hook, looking amazingly good. And then
You
they've
guys
got
are
this
not
kid
worried
Isaiah
about your
Hodgins.
wide receiver core?
Pardon?
You guys aren't worried about your wide receiver core?
Well, no. There's not. What is there to be worried about?
No, I'm just saying. I mean, I know you guys got a replacement for Beasley.
Yeah,
What's his name?
Jameson Crowder, but McKenzie's winning that job, and McKenzie's faster, quicker. And Beasley was done. Beasley was at the end of the road last year. He was like a catch and fall down guy. That's what he had
Miss
evolved
Phins,
into.
I'm sending you a link in private chat, so Mark can see that it's Sports Illustrated. Yeah, that's where the
Oh,
article is.
SI. Okay.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so I mean, and Crowder has injury history, but is a really really solid receiver. So they're gonna get their share, and it's really about targets. Where are the targets gonna go? And then the other loss they had was Emmanuel Sanders, but basically that was just taking targets away from Gabriel Davis, and Davis has turned into a 6'3", 227-pound monster at wide receiver. They're looking at him getting like 100 targets, 110 targets with maybe 70 catches, 1,100 yards, and double-digit touchdowns on the opposite side of Diggs. So he's like the breakout guy.
Okay.
I mean, the last game, I assume you folks remember his last game with 8 catches, 205 yards, and 4 touchdowns in a divisional playoff game with KC.
Was it against Casey?
Yeah, 8 catches for 205 yards and 4 touchdowns.
This
Jeez,
Phins
what
like
the-
color coming in with the goods, man. I don't make nothing up, man.
I know. I was trying to
I'm
read
not
it.
good enough.
Where
I'm
can I
not
say
good
it?
enough to make that stuff up.
And
Jeez.
plus, he's great on the sideline. So, when I look at and the other kid that's really breaking out is that 5th-round draft pick, Khalil Shakir. He's got like
I've heard his name several times.
yeah, he's kind of like the Bills version of Uzakama, who I guess has been like rocking it in
Who did
Oh.
you
camp.
say that was?
Easy.
Khalil Shakir for Buffalo, and like Uzakama is like rocking it for the Dolphins.
I think that's the guy that pushed back on Josh Allen.
No.
Like I said, I got to read the article.
For the article?
It was
Oh,
Khair Elam.
Oh yeah, Elam. Well, Elam's been lit up literally by what they've been doing with him. And let me kind of give you the synopsis of what's been happening. Elam has great physical skills. He's like 6'1", 191 pounds, runs a 4.37 40, but he's a press corner. Buffalo doesn't play press corner; they play zone corner, and that's why Christian Bedford is really standing out because he's playing in his own system that he's comfortable with. They've got to. So what they're trying to do with Elam is they're trying to get him to play the way that they want him to play, and that's why. And he's having a problem. He's handsy. So when they and that's an issue. They've even had him, wearing gloves or wearing mitts in practice to stop with the grabby stuff. I honestly don't think he's ready for opening day. If they start him opening day, I think it's a problem.
Hey, you never know. He might break out though. So is Buffalo trying to switch?
He's not going to be a bust. But if you're trying, Buffalo's not trying to switch. I guess the Polar's question is Buffalo trying to switch to what?
Well, I love how the article excuses him too, like how it's like, oh, there's a method to his madness. It'll get him to play better. It's like, oh, now imagine if Flores walked around the building calling Tua a stupid rookie, and then tried to say, oh, I'm just trying to get him to play better.
I don't think that.
I'm just trying to put a chip on his shoulder.
Well, yeah,
you can't talk to people like that, Color.
Qualify the remarks because I haven't read it in the context in which it was written.
Well, apparently he was calling him by his number.
Well,
and Elam took offense to that, so he said he went back to calling him stupid rookie. And he says he told SI he told Fox Sports that he calls all rookies stupid rookies.
Does he forget he was a stupid rookie that almost got cut in his second year?
Who?
Allen?
Not even close. They built around him. They drafted him to build around him.
Man, he was nothing until they got Diggs, and we all know it.
That's not true, Miss Fins. Everybody says that, but the second year, Josh Allen helped the Bills get into the playoffs. He threw 20 touchdowns, had 9 interceptions, ran for almost 600 yards and 8 touchdowns. How is that not performing in your second year?
That is performing in your second year. It's solid numbers.
And he
You
threw it a
didn't see
59% completion. He took the next step when they got a diva wide receiver, or not a diva wide receiver, but a great wide receiver in Diggs. He went up to 67%.
Mark,
Last year,
don't
he
be
beat.
mad at me. Listen, I'm
No,
going
I'm not
based
getting
on
mad.
what
I'm just trying to say.
Bills fans have said this to me, and I'm like, okay, I mean, but he
Yeah,
still
those are the
did all
same
right.
Bills fans that wanted Josh Rosen in the draft instead of Allen. So
Oh,
you can take those people as a grain of salt.
that's hilarious.
People are
Listen,
idiots.
I guess, but listen, at the end of the day, especially because just to go back into it, and your original question, I'm hoping they let it rip tomorrow in the joint practice. 20 to let it rip. I don't care if he gets 2, 3 picks in the
Doesn't matter.
practice because he's not gonna get physically injured. Hopefully, not. Let me knock on wood as I'm finishing that statement.
I'll tell you, the
But
Dolphins are doing part of the plan, the part of the development plan. You bring the third year, you bring in a great wide receiver like Hill, you bring in a Cedric Wilson, you bring in you draft a Nuzakama, who I think is going to be an outstanding wide receiver in the long term. But at the same time you do that, you have to build the foundation of the offensive line to let it fully come to fruition, and that's why I'm not understanding what Chris Greer is doing.
at this point, honestly, we just have to wait and see. Josh Hart, welcome. I love it when Miss Finn's back. You're hilarious, Josh. Thanks. The only thing I'm backing
Why?
up is this puppy
And
right here.
when you're sitting there with $21 million in cap space or close to it, and more that you can get if you let go Rowe, and I don't know, I think it's another $4 million if you let Rowe go. So go get offensive linemen. There's still a few out there. I don't know if the Jets have made a move yet on signing Dwayne Brown, because Dwayne Brown, yes, he's a left tackle and he's older, and I know he had that gun charge that recently popped up. But I mean, my God, the Jets just lost Becton for the year, or probably for a career,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah, well, that's sad. I feel really bad for that young man, and I made a comment earlier today too because that's sad. I mean, we're still sweeping the Jets, and I said that too in my comment, but I still feel bad for him. Nobody should have to go through what he's going through, and
Well, it's awful when anybody gets injured. I hate to see
yeah.
people get injured and lose the season.
But then again, when it comes to rookies, this is a time when they have the opportunity to make money. You know what I mean? And when they can't showcase themselves, they don't get that opportunity. So I feel for him. Now,
Well, my point being is, the few remaining offensive linemen are going to come off the marketplace, and as Ball Game so eloquently stated a couple days ago, he believes it's going to take about 8 to 10 weeks for the offensive line to gel. That's including, of course, the time in training camp and preseason. So he's figuring about week 5, week 6, the offensive line and the offensive system should have a chance to get fully integrated.
which is 5 weeks too late because that's already our whole season.
There's your season. Yeah, 3 divisional games and 5 conference games.
Yep, and I've said that every single time, almost every other day. Our season is the first 5 weeks, so in this case, it's gonna be awful. But Kola, I got a question for you, real quick, because I know you've heard you've heard what happened today, and I know that you're probably gonna go over it with El Capitan in a few minutes because I'm getting ready to wrap it up. But I want to get from you, from what you've heard, who do you think was your most standout player though that you heard, and then after Color and Mark, you can go ahead and let me know.
Oh, easily Jalen Phillips.
Phillips,
Mm-hmm.
how so?
Well, I mean, just going from taking the role of number one where he's at, and I mean grabbing it like he does. The guy practices well. He
He's a
he
big
shows
boy.
up on every play.
He's huge. I didn't realize how huge he was until I saw him in real person. I
Yeah,
almost got his signature. I'm so mad I didn't, but I'm gonna try again. Hopefully, I can get it. But
he does
okay,
My
does
guy's
things
Christian
the right
Wilkins.
way.
say that again.
He
My
does
guy
things
was
the
Christian
right way.
Wilkins today.
He does. And for you, Mark,
Yeah, Christian Wilkins. He was a wall at stop and run. I mean, just he himself was just a block of
did,
granite.
did you see on the one to one, the one on one when he manhandled that? I don't even know who it was in the Bucks, number 15 or
Yeah, it
whatever.
wasn't. I don't remember who it was for the Bucks, but yeah, it wasn't.
He
It was pretty ugly.
manhandled him, where I was like, I'm so proud of being a Dolphins fan. Like, my goodness, and that's one thing that gets me excited with Raekwon holding them down that middle, guys, and having the defensive line that we have. We're gonna finally be able to be effective against the run, which is what we showed. They showed us today because the Bucks couldn't run the ball at all. Period. We
Nothing.
couldn't even run it either, but they definitely couldn't run it at all.
Yeah, I have
And
a question for Color. Color, why do Dolphin fans think that the Dolphins can be run on? I keep hearing this. Well, our run defense is terrible. Our run defense is terrible. I don't get it.
Color, you there?
Say that again.
I've been wondering why some Dolphin fans are commenting that the Dolphins' run defense is poor and has to be improved. I don't. I'm not seeing that it's a poor run defense.
It really isn't. What it is, again, is one of those things that when we're in the fourth quarter and our offense has not paid our defense off all day, yeah, they start getting gashed. You
True.
know, if you
Yeah.
really look at when we, have problems with the run,
El Rizzi's right. It has been terrible before. And I think that we're just going on that post traumatic stress syndrome, that we can't believe that we actually have players that can actually do their job and stop the run now. So, uh, hey, Kimmel, welcome back. Much appreciated. But honestly, to me, I have to agree with both of them, Phillips. And did you see the theme? Defense is exactly who I thought. Mark, I'm gonna
mhm,
mute you because I'm getting some background info from you, sound from you. But the theme was from the defense. Definitely won the day, in my opinion. The Dolphins' defense won the day. And not to throw any shade for the offense, but even the offense did better than the Bucks offense. Overall, I think our team did much better. Not like overwhelmingly much better, but still they did better than the Bucks. Because if you look at it, even their defense, they couldn't handle. They obviously they stopped the run. We didn't do nothing with the run. I don't know what we were trying to do with the run. I didn't hear not one thing about anybody running. If I'm gonna be honest, that I can recall. But as far as our passers, I mean our wide receivers, we were doing pretty well. Except two obviously has to work on his ball placement still. That is something I did notice, which was a little bit concerning, but I'm hoping that he can work out that kink now. But let's see here. Okay, let me see if I have one last thought here for you guys. Okay, so based on give me one of the rookies who stood out for you as far as the rookies. Mark, go first, and then Color. Mark, now you mute yourself when I'm trying. Anyways, Color, you go ahead and go.
I mean,
Rookies.
I think
Yep,
Kendall definitely. I think even Good has stood out a little bit. Obviously, Easy has
that's what I was
uh,
gonna say. Easy, definitely for me.
coming along swimmingly.
I'm excited
Highly
for.
intelligent kid.
Hmm. Let's see here. Kings 1999 says, Miss Fins, I was thinking earlier as I looked at the Dolphins' former players, if we had Jalen Phillips to go along with JT and Zach Thomas, that would have been scary good. We would have won the Super Bowl. I'm being that ridiculous and I say we would have won the Super Bowl. Now, Fins take 83. CB83 makes a great point
Is
here.
he a rookie? I was gonna say him. I was gonna actually say him. Is he a
Braylon
rookie?
Sanders is my surprise rookie. Yes, he's technically he is undrafted free agent though.
Oh,
Not
okay,
a
okay.
yeah, he's undrafted free agent. I guess Mark dropped off. Thanks, Max, for coming on. Mark for coming on. But yeah, Braylon Sanders probably was my surprise pickup. Not pickup,
Yeah,
but
yeah, he. I didn't realize he was
player.
actually a rookie. Yeah, I'd have to say I agree there.
And one thing that I liked about him mostly, especially from what I heard, was his consistency. He didn't get a lot of touches, but when he did, he was very consistent in his route running, very consistent in his catching ability. So I'm very happy to hear that Braylon Sanders is looking solid. And I actually, well, tomorrow morning I'll go with my updated 53 man, but in my old one, I have him as a practice squad player, honestly. And the way things are looking, I don't know. What do you think about Trent Sherfield?
He's good. I mean, he definitely is good. What do you think about the catch today by Craycraft?
Man,
I mean, dang, you know what I mean?
they're making their cases, and this is exactly what I wanted to see in this what do you call it in this joint practice. I wanted the rookies and UDFA's to actually make their case, and they're
Hmm.
making their cases honestly. And
I mean, it was nice to see a wide receiver laying out for a catch like that with wearing number 85. That was a sight to see.
honestly, I think it's very exciting, and I do think that we are going to carry the six wide receivers. We'll have to see which those six are going to actually end up being. So that's going to be exciting. Let's see here. I'm going to bring you back up, Mark, because I'm going to do final thoughts real quick because I do need to.
I just had a quick question for caller. I assume you're
Go
a
ahead.
big U fan, University of Miami fan.
Oh yeah.
Did Russo and Phillips play at the same time, or was like one injured and then one sat out a year? I don't know if they were played
Gosh,
together.
I'm not really sure. I want to say they were at least a couple times on the
Thank
field.
Finscape. Sorry, I just have to say thank you to
I'm not
CB83.
100% sure though.
Yeah, because Russo's turning into quite the player. He's gotten bigger. Now he's about 6'6", 6'6", 6'6" and a half, about 280 pounds, and they're looking at double-digit sacks from him. And I'm just thinking, because I couldn't remember if they played at the same time, because I know, what was it? Phillips had concussion history,
Mm-hmm.
and Russo was out for some reason or another, which I don't remember.
Mm-hmm.
But what
Yeah,
a
I'm not,
what a,
I
what a
think
pair
they
of
might have.
studs!
They
Kane's
might have
80,
a. They
Kane's
might.
89 is saying they played together.
Yeah, I think they might have that last year. I think is when they actually did play together. Um, but I'm not 1,000% sure. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, what the thought is with Buffalo now is that Von Miller is going to provide that pass rush because Rousseau is a closer, and he's one of those guys that gets a lot of cleanup sacks. Phillips is a guy that's more explosive and is going to just explode into the backfield and make plays. So they differ in that capacity, but my God, having both those guys on the same defensive line, woo.
It kind of looks like what Georgia had this past year. I mean, look at that. They just won the national title, and literally their entire defense went. I feel like in the first round, if I'm not
I know,
mistaken.
right?
Like
Yeah, that
literally
was
the
like the
first and
year with the
second round.
turnover
Like
chain and everything,
it's
wasn't it, Colin?
insane.
The U were running around with the turnover chain thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're done with that. Kind of sucks because I like the
Yeah, that's right.
I like
Yeah, I
the
Their
liked it
quarterback
too.
looks awesome this year.
Yeah, but look, real quick, Easy made this and Brady made a comment about how quarterbacks can't throw the ball, leaving a receiver in a business decision. It ain't the receiver's fault he chooses to live another day and not get decapitated. Now, this is the before you answer. I want to say something real quick. And Brady does make this point. I've heard him say this before. It is the QB's job to make sure that he throws the ball so that the receiver is not put into a um, life or death situation, and not life or death, but you know what I mean, like in a injury open opportunity. If I'm trying to get that right, I don't remember the exact words that he used, but essentially, it's on the QB, not on the defensive player, to really protect the player. Um, it's really the QB that needs to throw that player not just open, but also throw them in a safe place where they're able to catch it and still be able to protect their bodies. So
I wish my quarterback would have understood that.
that, that I will say, Brady has said that. Now, as far as the whole business decision and things like that, yeah, it's not.
I mean the high school quarterback that threw to me, not to
Oh, okay, right.
a.
Did you get a fatal injury, and that's why you?
No, but I did take some hard hits because of some poorly thrown footballs.
It needed to be said. Okay, Mark, I can see Russo and Phillies make a Pro Bowl soon.
Yeah, very possible.
I agree. To me, and I already called this, and I have no problem in saying it. To me, Phillips, you're looking at a future Hall of Famer, and I'm talking about like first ballot Hall of Famer, in my opinion.
Well, okay, you're
I mean,
talking about needing to get the 100 sack minimum
and he's
is the
gonna get
minimum
it.
standard, and that doesn't get you. I don't know if that doesn't get you first ballot. 150 gets you. 150 sacks gets you first ballot.
And I believe he can get it in his career. I truly believe he's that player that can get it. Not barring
That's
injury, obviously.
that's 14
Hello.
sacks a year for 10 years.
Okay.
That's
Didn't TJ Watt just get 22 and a half times the record?
I was gonna say it's also
I mean,
20. It's also 21 year and 9 another year.
yeah, like it's doable, and we're seeing guys out here doing it. So it's not
Just
like
like
it's
the
out
2
of the
point.
realm.
It's just like the 2.1 seconds or whatever. It's like, yeah, but there was times he had 5 seconds and there was times he had 1 second. You know what I mean?
It's an average for a reason. Hey, I mean, but so to me, I see those intangibles to get him to that level. Okay, take away the first ballot. Gosh, that got you all worked up. But listen, for sure, future Hall of Famer, in my opinion.
yeah,
I see
100
him in the
sacks.
future.
Yeah, barring any
And
kind of like disastrous injury or
exactly,
whatever else, more
exactly,
concussion issues, all that. But yeah,
exactly.
he's on
Barring,
that trajectory even after his first season. I mean, the guy had confidence issues, had to see the team shrink, and he still got 8.5
and he
sacks
still
in
didn't
his
even
rookie
play the
year.
full season. Like,
Yeah,
are you kidding
exactly, exactly. He had
me?
like, I think he played like
Was it
what was it we
a
found yesterday?
10,
Like very small sample size of games
10 games? I think it was.
and only
Uh,
5 starts.
Yeah, it was ridiculous how little he played, which I was like, I gotta pull it up because he really didn't even play. Yeah, he got 42 tackles, 8.5 sacks, one pass deflection, one fumble, but he only played, let's see here, 5 games he started. They have
Right.
him here as playing all 17 games,
Right, but he
but
only started 5, which
he
means
only
he was
started
in a
5.
rotation. He
Yeah,
wasn't the main guy. Now
and on
he's the
top of
number
that,
one
too,
guy.
please, he barely played when he was in the rotation, if we're being
Right. He's
honest.
now the number one guy. That's his spot.
Exactly. And on top of that, too, let's be real. If he was really confident and he would have actually taken that lead and that ownership since the beginning, this kid could have had easily 15 sacks
Well,
and
Miss
he would have
Fins,
been rookie of
let's
the year.
remember something. Now he's going to be a player that's going to be schemed. And last year he wasn't because he was a rookie. So now he's going to have to deal with different blocking against him, a tight end chipping him. So he has to make the next step as to how do I play and how do I adjust to team scheming against me, like
That
every
is
other
true.
pass
I'm
rusher
not
has to
sure.
do.
I'm not sure everybody's aware of it quite yet, Mark. I think he's actually this is the year where everybody finds out and then everybody starts scheming on him. I'm not
Well,
sure
even
everybody.
Mac
I mean,
Jones
the
got
really,
4
yeah,
times
you're
over
right.
his
The
head.
really good teams know, you know what I mean already. Sure. but you're going to have a whole bunch of teams that just aren't even going to see him coming, man.
They're not paying attention to him. That's why, because they're focused on Holland, or they might be focused on Xavier or Byron. They're not really focused on him as much.
Well, I mean,
I,
think about it. Like Aaron Donald, a guy like Aaron Donald, it was like his second, third year before like the whole league, like, oh, all of a sudden this guy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I
Hey,
want to see what
Liz.
Belichick does to get with him. That's going to be a really interesting thing, because the one thing that New England does is they focus on their tight ends, and even though they're looking pretty rotten in training camp so far, I how Jalen Phillips performs against what New England does to him is going to be a really interesting matchup.
So you think that's the one that's gonna make or break him?
I think that's going to tell us how teams are going to play him, because Belichick, for whatever we want to say about him, is a defensive master.
He is.
And he understands what you have to do. Now, Phillips will have to make an adjustment, obviously. And I want to, because New England has the two tight ends. They will use Jonnu Smith, who's more their blocking tight end, to chip. And I believe they'll use, I think Trent Brown. Trent Brown is there. And he's a really, really huge guy. He's like 6'8", 340, 350. And Phillips is much faster. So you use a big guy and a blocker to chip. Of course, that leaves Ogba on the other side, so good luck on that.
Well, listen, a lot of the sacks that he got were thanks to Akba, and a lot of the sacks that Akba got was thanks to him. Shout out to my boys Charlie Touche and Kadeem Simmons. Yes, Liz, absolutely. Over what Go Time Dolphins, right? Go Time Dolphins, if I'm not mistaken. They're awesome. Absolutely.
I am going to make a week 1 prediction. Dolphins get 6 sacks opening day.
Dolphins get 6 sacks opening day?
Yep.
I'll take it.
6 sacks, 2 picks, and a fumble recovery from the quarterback.
Okay, so we automatically are saying that the Patriots have been dropping off. Like, they just dropped off. That's it. It's over. They're done. Have the Jets really overtaken the Patriots for that 3rd spot?
No way.
I don't know. I think if Becton hadn't gotten hurt, maybe they take over. Maybe they take over 4th or 3rd, because I think the Patriots are sinking like a rock.
They are sinking, in my opinion, but some people say they're not. Some people are saying they're. It's just right in time.
You can use y'all's money to bet on that.
Yeah, it's not always a good thing to bet against Belichick.
I don't bet against the Patriots.
I'm going to say that there's a greater chance of the Dolphins getting 6 sacks and 2 interceptions opening day than Parker catching a touchdown pass against them.
And I would say there's a better chance. There's a better chance that Belichick has the ship righted and has his team better than the Bills than there is a chance that the Jets are better than the Patriots.
Interesting. Why do you think the Patriots are going to be better than the Jets? I'm fascinated why you think that.
I think they're better. I think they're going to be better than the Bills.
Well, obviously we're going to disagree on that, but I'd rather focus on the Jets issue, because
the Bills still have yet to sweep the Patriots.
I just look at their roster and I just don't see anything. I don't see.
Of course not. But you didn't see anything last year, and they still made it to the playoffs with a 10-7 record. Why wouldn't they progress?
Because of the talent that they lost. They gave up 2 guys on their offensive line. They drafted a guy in the 1st round who, by all means, should have been a 3rd round pick. They lost their top corner. They're weak at cornerback. Their linebacking is slow as I am. But
they've done this every single year for the last 20 some years.
That is true.
Are you concerned about the Patriots in game 1?
Yes, simply because it's 9/11.
I'm with Color on that. If it wasn't 9/11, I wouldn't be as concerned, because the added pressure.
I mean, if I hadn't witnessed, and if I hadn't witnessed the referees over the last 20 years outright cheat for the Patriots to win, I wouldn't be that concerned about it. But it is 9/11. It is their day.
That's such an interesting point that you bring up, because that was one of my bones of contention in the 70s, because for the entire duration of the 70s, the number 1 least penalized team in the NFL was, guess who? The Miami Dolphins and Don Shula.
Well, that's because we were awesome and we were great. Hold on.
obviously, but also there was some stuff going on.
I
Come on,
think
man. When
I
you got
think
the
in
call,
order to
you
win
just
that game, we're gonna have to put 40 up on them.
oh God. Okay, do we see 40 in this team? The only way I see 40, okay, guys. The only way I see 40 for us, and I'm just gonna be flat out honest. It would have to take Tua to put it all on his marbles and actually take over this game because I don't see any other way for this team to get 40. Granted, our defense I think is going to give us at least 6. I'm hoping at least 6 we can get from defense. So it's not going to be that much harder.
Well, I
But to
guess
drop
maybe
40,
I'm more saying you have to go into that game, given it that it's on 9/11, and the potential for the
overcome.
rigging. You have to go into it thinking you need to put 40 up, whether you
You
do
need
or
to be at
not.
least up
You
2
know,
touchdowns.
yeah, because you have to take it out of the referee's hands. You just have to. It's
Then
9/11. It's the
yeah,
New England Patriots.
yeah.
I have an interesting thought on
Oh
on this.
God,
There are
jeez.
teams that are national teams, they're profile teams, and the Patriots have been slipping out of that limelight over the past few years because Brady's gone and they're not all that anymore. The Dolphins are starting to rise and they're going to become a national team. So the teams that are quote national teams, the teams that are going to be developed for interest, they're going to get the calls. I don't think the Patriots are getting the calls in that game. I think the Dolphins are going to get the calls when they're playing a team like the Patriots. I think when the Dolphins play the Bills, I think the Bills are going to get more of the benefit of the calls. I think when the Dolphins play the Bengals are going to get more of the calls. Simply
It
because
doesn't apply to the Patriots, though. You realize Goodell is part of the Greenwich clique, right?
that's true. That's a good point.
Sorry.
I guess what my opinion is, if we were to play the game straight, Patriots versus Dolphins straight up, forget the fact that Belichick chews up first time rookie head coaches. I just look at it, play on the field, and I look at I look at the two rosters, and why wouldn't the Dolphins put up like a minimum of 4 touchdowns on offense?
That's what I always think. In that case, because the fact of it is, I'm going to look at it real quick.
What is that? 28, 35 points if you do 5
last
touchdowns.
season, 17.
Well, 4 touchdowns is 28.
Yeah,
A defensive
but
touchdown
I'm
takes
giving.
you to 35. 2
That's
field
why
goals takes you to 41.
That's why I said. That's why I said 35 because of the defensive touchdown. That's why. And if we do get those 2 field, are we gonna have enough drives to get that? That's the thing. That means we're gonna have to do hurry up offense, which I actually think we're really good in the hurry up offense. But
So
man,
we've
we
outscored the
just
Patriots in the last 2 games, 50-40.
really
Mm-hmm.
okay. So what is that? 25-20 if you divide it between both the
Pretty
average.
much, yep.
And
Which,
I don't
by the
even
way,
think that's enough.
happens to be the offensive points to defensive points ratio for us in 2020. It was 25-20.
Of
A lot of
course.
defensive touchdowns that year, though. There were weren't there like about 6 or 7 defensive touchdowns and a blocked punt touchdown, if I remember correctly?
Yeah, that
We
block.
did have a few scores, defensive scores in 2020. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I
Kane's
remember a block punt against the
1989. He's 32
Chargers,
max.
we were
and I
number
remember
one.
like the
We were
Rams
number
game.
one in interceptions in 2020.
Yeah, I think like the Rams game was won on Ram turnovers. I think the 49er game. I think the Dolphins are, if I remember right, curb stomped the 49ers like 43-17 or something. And I know there was a defensive touchdown in that game.
Mm.
So I could honestly see, a couple of longer touchdowns. I just don't see a scenario where the Patriots defensive backs match up.
I see where you're coming from here, and I think their secondary is not going to be able to stop the wide receivers we have, in my opinion. I mean, they go single high, we're burning them, and if they go cover 2, I still think we're going to burn them in the middle. So at this point, I don't know what type of defense. And again, Bill Belichick, defensive
all
G.
you got to do, Miss Phins, is look at the Buffalo playoff game with New England. Buffalo went in the middle all game long because the Patriots couldn't. They had nothing. They had no speed, no maneuverability. You run crossing patterns, and you're gonna have wide open holes.
Listen, I think Color, you were the one that said it here that you think that Gesicki's gonna have the most touchdowns of the team, or was that talking to someone else?
Who would have it?
Gesicki, that Gesicki's gonna have the most touchdowns out of the team.
Oh no,
Uh,
that wasn't me for
okay.
sure.
I was talking to somebody else then, and they said that they see Gesicki getting the most
Can't
touchdowns, being
can't
that red
get
zone threat.
touchdowns on a team you're not on.
Uh,
Hey,
stop it,
do you?
okay?
I had a thought on I had a thought on a play that I saw. Two things that I saw which really impressed me. There was a play that Tua rolled to his right, not to his left, and threw an absolute dime in between two corners. And in one of the highlight or one of the training camp films, do you remember that play?
Um, he rolled to his right and threw it in.
Yeah, he rolled to the right, threw off his back foot, and threw an absolute frozen rope. It was right from about the 12-yard line. That I was super impressed with the throw because he's going off his offside. Instead of going left, he's going right, and he throws a rope between two defenders in the end zone. Awesome throw.
I don't remember that one. I don't know if that was so on the days that I was there, but if that's the case, I mean, I've seen to a flash. The issue I have with him is his inconsistency. If he was consistent, I wouldn't have as much issue. He's too inconsistent for me. Now, real quick, I just want to take a quick moment and say, congratulations, Liz Meyer. She enrolled in college for business management. Definitely
Congratulations, Liz.
congratulations. That's awesome, honestly, and wish you good luck because that is not easy to be in school. Trust me, I know. So believe
And
me.
I got another play which I think would be really effective for the Dolphins, especially inside the 5. I wonder if they're gonna run that play that Kansas City runs, where Mahomes does a little shuffle pass inside the 5 because he had like Hill on the outside, usually Hardman or somebody else on the other, and then he'd like flip that, do the little underhand shuffle pass to Kelsey. That would be a play with the speed out wide when you open up a team wide. You just slip your tight end or slip your slot receiver in, and that's such an easy touchdown. I wonder if that's going to be incorporated into the offense.
We'll see. I mean, I know that he's going to be very creative with the team, so that's something that I am looking forward to. But at the end of the day, we just have to see if not if Tua can run it. Man, we know Tua can throw. We know Tua can do these. The thing is him doing it consistently. That's what I need to see. That's what I need to see. That's the only thing I need to see. Now, real quick, Kane said this, Miss Phins, I'm going to say this now. If the Dolphins somehow end up in the Super Bowl and win it, then Flores loses his case. Yes or no? What do you guys think? If that was the scenario, does Flores lose his case?
I don't think that has any bearing on whether he wins or loses the case, but
Agreed. I don't think it really would make a difference as far as the case itself. And on that note, real quick though, what do you guys think? Because I think it's major manure that the Miami Dolphins fans and the Miami Dolphins owner did not get the same punishment. I think it was a little ridiculous. What do you guys think?
Color, you want to go first? Or you want me to go first?
I misunderstood the question.
What did you think about the punishment for Ross versus the punishment that the Miami Dolphins fan got? Let me elaborate. He only got $1.5 million fine and 6-game suspension, and the Miami Dolphins fans lost a first-round pick. So
let me take this first because I think I've got a pretty good handle on what happened here. The Dolphins lost I think the Dolphins lost the first-round pick not because of the tampering, but because of the throwing games. There's no way because of the NFL's affiliation with gambling interests now for the league are they going to admit to any form of tampering, and that's why Goodell was so quick to say tampering had nothing to do with it. But what they did is they dumped an additional first-round pick on the Dolphins because they knew that they were trying to tank and lose games, and that's the punishment that they got for it.
That's ridiculous because what happened to suck for luck? I mean, what happened to tanking for Burrow?
And the thing that bothers me about that too is the fact that Goodell, what Where did it go? I thought I liked it, but I guess it's not showing up on my feed now. But Goodell said that there was absolutely no evidence whatsoever that we tanked. There is evidence that we wanted to tank, but we didn't, literally because Flores decided not to.
Was an honest and ethical guy. And I think
God.
the Dolphins got that additional first-round pick lost.
Right. My whole beef, my beef with that is that if Flores didn't take the deal and refused to do it,
then why are we getting punished?
We're not guilty of anything. Why did they take that pick?
What people are saying about Deshaun Watson. There you go. I'm sorry. I know I have to bring him up.
It's kind of like if somebody came to you and said, hey, you want this counterfeit money? And you're like, no. And then somebody still like, penalizes the house that you guys were both standing in when he tried to give you the counterfeit money. It's like, no. Why are you coming after my house if I turn down the money?
Well, the penalty was far worse than what the supposed crime was. So
it was ridiculous. And well, what team was it? They only got like a third, or maybe they only got a third. Flipping Patriots.
So I guess in Goodell's mind, there's a crime in even propositioning your head coach to do that.
Man, and then that's the part that I feel like, okay, that's ridiculous, and that's why I say the fans got screwed over in this deal, because not only did we pay the money, we didn't tank, and then on top of that, too, we didn't tank. Flores was adamant about that, and honestly, if we wanted to tank, we could have. If it wasn't
my God, but in some ways we did, because it's not as if we fielded a proper NFL football team.
No, we literally got freaking grocery boys.
Right. So how's that not part of the function of tanking?
Like, come on. And even then, they still didn't tank. I was so pissed when they actually started. I was like, what are they doing? No.
Well, what's so pathetic about it is this goes on in every league. I remember like the year, I don't know if any of you folks know much about hockey, but Mario Lemieux became a Pittsburgh Penguin and multiple Stanley Cup winner because the Penguins did everything they could to literally tank against the New Jersey Devils in the year that Lemieux came up for the draft. And Ms. Phins, you brought up the fact of the Colts, suck for luck. You're playing with Dan Orlovsky and he's running out of the end zone for a safety against. I mean, come on, please. So to nail the Dolphins for a first and a third round pick is a direct spit in the face to the fan base and for everything that they're trying to do. And then you're finding a billionaire $1.5 million. Ooh,
that was like 11 cents. They literally fined him 11 cents, which to me, I'm like, you want to make a statement.
They find him pocket lint.
Yeah, you want to make it 25 million at least if you're really gonna do it. But the Dolphin fans got screwed with this one. It wasn't him. And on top of that, too, Blaze or whatever his name, Biles or Beal or whatever his name is, he should have been removed from this whole ownership contract succession plan thingy. That would have been it. That is exactly what they should have done if they were trying to do something right.
Well, yeah, because Beal has the ties with Brady. He and Brady are tight.
And
so yeah, I don't know.
This is a family friendly, and I usually don't use such harsh language, but this is just frustrating as a Dolphin fan to be dealing with this, and still getting the first round pick, which.
That's a brutal hit.
That was ridiculous.
That's a 5-year player of high potential at a position of need that you don't have because of something that was a garbage decision.
I'm telling you, Ross, I can't stand him. I swear on all that is holy, Tua, you better pan out.
The good news is if he don't, we got our first round pick back.
Nobody's giving us a first round pick for Tua. Not one team.
That's right. That's the one we're losing. I forgot.
Yeah,
so we gotta hope.
the
We gotta
Dolphins have
hope
the
San
49ers.
Fran's tanking.
Yeah.
Well, I understand that Trey Lance isn't looking very good right now.
Thank God. Trey
To
Lance.
the point that Garoppolo may stay in San Francisco after all.
God, no. Please go somewhere else so that they can just focus on Lance and then, really struggle, get us that top 10 draft pick that we desperately need, because at this point, we don't even know what's going to happen.
And you brought up Watson a couple minutes ago. Yeah, I think Friday they're going to lay down the 1 year locked in suspension. So
Ridiculous.
he's out of the preseason and everything else. Goodbye.
That's ridiculous. And
Why is that ridiculous? The man,
it is extremely ridiculous. And it's an allegation, proven innocent until proven guilty.
Not proven innocent. He lied to Sue Robinson. He lied to the judge. He was convicted literally by Sue Robinson saying, "You actually did these things."
First of all,
because the state of Texas chose not to prosecute.
That was not a court of law. Okay,
it's the only court of law that matters.
Not at all. Not a court of law.
Arbitration.
Literally stated there's nothing here for us to prosecute. So to me, his 6-game suspension should have been it. Call it a day. Fine, make it 10.
They're gonna make it. They're gonna make it a year, and they're gonna require contrition. They're gonna require him to have counseling, and he's gonna have to reapply and be reinstated.
Dan Snyder. Then I want to know what's gonna happen to Snyder. Then I want to know what's gonna happen.
He's gonna get hammered. He's gonna be out of the league. He's gonna be forced to sell.
Strip the Patriots at least 3 other 6 Super Bowls. Then, if that's the case, because
why aren't the Texans getting penalized a draft pick for facilitating the whole thing?
Oh my God! And in that case, then why isn't Brady getting suspended for tampering either, or Sean Payton being banned from the league? Get out of here! No.
Well, Watson's going bye-bye for a year. He lied to the judge.
Oh my God! Listen,
and he's not remorseful in any capacity over anything that he did. And I cannot support a man who did what he did. I will never support a guy like that. And it's also going to be a slap against the Cleveland Browns for laying out that horrible contract, which basically said that you lose nothing if you're suspended for a year and you still get all your $230 million. That is absolute garbage.
Keep your money, because that plan is not for 2 years. That plan is for a 15-year quarterback who's still top 5 in the league, and he hasn't played in a year and change. So
I believe Watson is very much like Prescott. I believe he's a compiler. He's a stats compiler. What has he ever won?
Listen, he definitely took his team to the playoffs.
Whoopee. Josh Allen took his team to the playoffs multiple times. Deshaun Watson has won one playoff game.
But we ain't talking about Josh Allen.
Yeah, and Josh Allen's not even nowhere near in the same situation.
Good for you. So good you got your Buffalo digs in there. Appreciate that. But we weren't talking about Josh Allen.
Yeah, no,
we're talking. Well, I mean, I'm glad the Dolphins didn't get Watson. I mean, he'd be an embarrassment to the face of the franchise.
I bet you're glad we didn't get Watson.
Yeah, because he would have been scared. Let's be real.
Watson, well, he wouldn't be playing in 20. I wouldn't be scared in 2022 because he's not going to be playing in 2022.
Okay, Mark. You know what, Mark? Let's do this. Let's put this. Let's say we did get him, right?
Okay.
And he was out for the entire year this season,
which is what's going to happen.
Next year, your money for your boy is going to kick in. That means you're going to have no money for any other players in your team.
Not true. Actually, the Bills have. Miss Phins, hold on. I looked at SpotRec last night. The Bills have 60 players signed next year. They are $12 million over the salary cap. For next year, the Dolphins are 24. As I looked at it, Allen's contract is structured so that he can move. They can move money around and push money out on the bonus money. Plus, the cap is setting at next year at $218 million. It's going to go up to $228 minimum because of the direct TV deal that's going to go on with either Fox or with Amazon or whomever. So that's going to 228. So the Dolphins are going to be like $14 million in the hole. The Bills are going to be $2 million in the hole, and they got 60 players signed. The Dolphins are right now $24 million in the hole with 53 players signed, and that's as of SpotRec as of last night.
Oh, listen. Okay, let's go with your numbers.
I'm going with
Regardless,
spot reps
no,
numbers. They're the
no,
ones that
that's
are.
fine. Let's go with spot rates numbers because I can't speak to them. I haven't seen them yet. I haven't seen the updated one, so I will go with yours. Even so, at the end of the day, okay, he's gone this year. What about the year after that? The year after that, where most of these contracts, you're gonna have to start paying guys
Miss
too,
Finns, you would
even in
first
two,
of all,
three
if you'd have
years.
got, let me rephrase this. If you had traded for Watson, you don't have Hill, you don't have the slew of draft picks that you had to give up for him. So where's the team? You got Deshaun Watson. You still have Devontae Parker, wide receiver. You
But
still
see,
have Waddle.
but see, again, you're just like everybody else that thinks that we can't rebuild a team like we have 5 times already in the last 25 years without the dang quarterback you're talking about. So okay, we suffer for another year or two rebuilding a whole nother team around a guy like Deshaun Watson. That's what we're fine with that.
Because
Fine,
it's
and
not a
then maybe
5 year.
you're ready, and then maybe you're ready to compete about 2024. And by that
Yeah.
time, by
Yeah.
2024, Byron
Yeah,
Jones is gone,
but then we're
Xavier
on
Howard's
for 10
gone.
years. But then we're on for 10 years.
And we will be division champions all 10 years. Because again, your money, you think now that yes, you have all these players signed, which is great, but think about it this way too. Um, you're still gonna have to deal with contracts, especially in 2024 when again a lot of these countries are gonna come up, and then you have your rookie suit that you're gonna have to pay. Are you gonna keep them? Are you gonna get rid of them? So no, it's not.
They'll re-sign
Come on.
Gabriel Day. They'll re-sign Gabriel Davis. They've already got the money plugged in for Ed Oliver. So Buffalo doesn't have as many draft picks that they have to re-sign. They really don't because they didn't have like 3 number ones and 2 number ones and blah 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 blah. They've had 1 first round pick. One year they didn't even have a first round pick. The year they picked AJ Epinesa. So they don't have all these big contracts to have to renew. So they're not really sitting in a cap issue. And I'm gonna suggest something to both of you folks. The next 3 contracts that are gonna come up are gonna be Jackson's contract in Baltimore, Herbert's contract with the Chargers, and Burrow's contract in Cincinnati.
Hmm.
Both the Chargers and the Bengals are family-owned businesses. And this is going to be the first time I think you're going to see contracts that are going to be tied to percentage of the cap. There's going to be a signing bonus, and then their salary is going to be based on 18%. About 18% of your cap space is going to be allocated to those players.
Almost
That's
like
how these teams are going to fit in these manageable contracts.
separate quarterback tag, you know.
Yeah.
And
Look.
to be honest with you, I don't know why the Dolphins don't consider Lamar Jackson. If Lamar
I don't
Jackson was
either,
on this
but
football team
that's
right
a
now, they'd be a
discussion
Super
for
Bowl
another
contender.
day. We could talk another
Yeah,
hour on
yeah,
that.
for real. We really can't. I mean, at this point, we're gonna. It was just a hypothetical that went down a serious road at this point. But listen, at the end of the day, we all know this. If we have the draft picks and Tua pans out, we're gonna shore up the offensive line, which is literally the only real thing
Well,
that we
that's
would
the
need.
best case scenario.
And I'm going best case scenario. He pans out this year, it works out for us, even if we lose that, since we lost that extra first rounder, we would still be good because guess what? Our first rounder is still gonna would have ended up being in the 20s, possibly even late 20s, if we're being honest. So I would have been okay with that late 20s first round pick. Okay, fine, whatever. We lose it, and we don't know what the 49ers are gonna do. They may have a top 10 again. I mean, that would be amazing.
Not probable because their roster is pretty solid, and we'll see what they do at
Yes.
quarterback. But the thing that's really damaging about the loss of the pick and why I would be really, really angry if I was like a diehard Dolphin fan. I'm a Dolphin fan, but I'm not a diehard. Okay. The fact that you're going to have to the second pick would have been, to me, it would have been a corner and an offensive lineman. That would have been the direction I would have gone, because you've got to have a long-term replacement strategy for Xavier Howard. He's got some injury history. Byron's contract next year I think is 18 million on the cap, and we can all look at things. And Byron Jones is just a top drawer, glove corner. Xavier's the guy who makes the great plays with the anticipation and everything. Together, they're awesome, and Nick Needham is awesome. and Nick Needham is not signed for next year. He's on a 1-year tender right now. With it is so the Dolphins have got to draft a corner because it's, sadly, as it's turned out, Noah is not going to turn into anything. He looks like he's a complete bust. It happens. It is what it is. Trill Williams, maybe, maybe not. And there's not a whole lot of depth going on. So the Dolphins really need to shore up the corner position in the future. And the loss of that pick, that's where it really stings. Because you can
I
now
I
go,
see what you mean, but I wouldn't even use that to get a corner if I'm gonna be honest with you. Right now we're hearing great things about Keon Crossan. Burrow McKinley's looking good too. So right
well,
now,
that's a safety.
um,
That's not a corner. McKinley's a safety. And he's a
sorry,
small safety
my
at
apologies.
5'8".
Yes, Keon Crossan is who I was referring to. My
Yeah,
apologies. You're right.
and
I think
Trill, we
he's
don't know
gonna
where
be
he's going to
good.
be. And
And Trill
Noah's a
Williams was
bust.
the other one. Well, I don't think he's gonna be a bust just because he got a little slightly not even injured, just tweaks. I
What,
mean,
Noah?
no, Trill.
Trill might turn out. He might be okay. But we all can. I think we can finally put a wrap on Mister Noah and say
I don't
that
think so.
he's no,
No.
he's garbage. I'm sorry. He's flat out trash. He can't
Andravia
play.
says
He
that
can't. He
if you're a
has
Dolphins
no
fan.
feel for the game. And it says a lot to me that the man didn't dress for 10 games. He can't even get on the field to play special teams.
I will
Listen,
not sit here and listen to this Buffalo fan call one of our players trash. I'm sorry to tell you.
look,
Well,
look.
okay.
I
What
could
do you
agree
think?
with
What do
him.
you?
I could agree
He's a
with him all
Dolphins
night.
fan. But he's a Dolphins fan. We already know this. He just admitted live on air with Miss Phins tonight.
I root for the
He admitted
Dolphins
he's a
when they're not
Dolphins
playing
fan.
Buffalo. I root for the Dolphins. I want them to win.
Well,
I
if you
love the
need to
Shula
call
era. I
Noah
love the
trash,
Marino
if
era.
you need to call Noah trash, you just DM me on Twitter and let me know, so I'll call him trash for you. All right.
You guys
Okay.
can't.
I'm sorry, but I don't think the man can play at the NFL level.
Well, he hasn't had the opportunity, so we gotta see. We gotta see, okay? Hey, Green Red Noah, top CB in Buffalo.
On that note, I do got to run, Miss Fins, but I appreciate you having me up. Appreciate
Well,
talking with you,
well,
Mark.
I'm actually gonna close it out because I gotta go too. But if you guys can give me your final thoughts real quick, guys, go ahead and
Uh,
give me your final thoughts. Go ahead.
Final thoughts.
Yeah, on today joint practice, what did you think overall?
Buffalo. Oh, I was gonna say Buffalo never had the reign of the AFC East. They've been keeping everybody's seat warm.
Thanks for talking about the joint practice color.
No,
Oh
I
God.
look forward to see a little more tomorrow. I think, I will leave just by saying, look, we have no clue what how our coaches utilize their practices and what they're looking for. You know, we do have. I mean, we are getting into the meat of training camp. We are getting into the meat of the preseason coming up. So yeah, we want to see things ramped up a little more, but I don't. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it's a job for these guys, and they have certain things they got to deal with. If you are in your job and you only have to do, receivables today, does that mean you suck at doing some other job? It just that's what you're doing today. So I don't know. We can't get all worried about what they're doing and what they're not doing. We just have to look at what they are doing and evaluate it for what it is. Okay, if they're looking at this, they're looking at that, then let's look with them. Let's not wonder why they're not throwing the ball or they're not doing this or that or the other. I mean, my only other thing is that, it just, I'm really concerned a little bit about them continuously practicing stuff that we already know Tua is great at. I'd
Right,
really
that part is
rather
frustrating.
I'd really rather see them. I don't care if it looks bad. I don't care if the Tua haters go out there and make fun of it. Whatever. I want to see him start practicing stuff that he has problems with. Even if
Yeah,
even if it failed, that's what practice is for. But we'll see.
that's honestly gonna be That's honestly gonna be something to look after, and I'm with you. They need to. He needs to release himself. Like at this point, we already know what you can do. Let's work on what you can't do, or at least haven't worked on as much.
Hmm.
So, with that being said, look at it. Orange Red said Miss Fins is PG rated tonight. Guys, we're always PG rated. Okay, this is a family friendly show. Okay, but we got a little tiny heated. They got a little heated today, but Color, I appreciate you. Thank you so
Oh,
much for
my pleasure,
coming.
Miss Phins. Thank you for
I'll
the
see.
show.
I'm sure you're going over there to Capitan. Guys, if you haven't done so already, go to Color's actual channel, which is literally Color Commentary, and subscribe. He's got like 183 subscribers. Go ahead and get him to 200. Let's go ahead and do it. And
Yeah,
you can always
appreciate
find
that.
him on TFTG as well. The Fins Tailgate over there with Ali the Persian, El Capitan, Tunk. Go ahead and check him out. But
And I
definitely
and
let's
I
get
do
his personal channel up too.
and I do plan on ramping up now that the season's getting closer to starting. I will be ramping up more clips on my channel in particular because I'll have a lot more content being able to pull from games that I go to. So look forward to that. Right now, it's a little dead because I do a lot of work with the Fins tailgate. So that's where a lot of most of my efforts
I'll be as
are
a
right
pleasure,
now.
Color. Absolutely. I love your commentary and your knowledge.
I appreciate
Absolutely.
that. Appreciate that
Definitely
too,
check him out.
CB. CB and I always go at it, but I appreciate the kind words there, CB, and also Mark, and of course Miss Friends. Appreciate the plug.
Of
Uh,
course. You know, I love you,
and
man. You guys.
everybody, make sure you're subscribing to Miss Fins. We got to get her to 500.
Oh,
Oh,
what you
Kane,
are you
doing?
up to like
Kane,
390 now? I think you're getting closer.
Guys,
yeah,
I am doing a 500 subscriber giveaway, guys. So
and Kane's
definitely
89 had it was wondering about paying to kick people and stuff. Well, the sooner we get Miss Fins to 1,000 subs, the quicker she'll be able to take super chats to be able to do that.
yeah,
Great.
So
absolutely.
help her get
That's
to
Absolutely.
awesome.
1,000 subs, and then we'll be able
Miss
to
Finn,
she'll be able to implement
I'll
stuff
bring my
like
friends
that.
from Bill's Mafia over to you.
I appreciate it. Look, I didn't even know it was a 389. Thank you, Mark. And another thing too, guys, I guess I could do it for the panels, okay? And I can actually have I have Cash App, so you guys can just send it to me in Cash App if that's easier. And I can just check for now until we get to the 1,000, because I know that's one way that
Miss Fins, if you do panel shows and do what Stephen D does, you can have you kicked off and pick up $50 a day.
honestly, it all goes back
Miss
to
Fins,
this.
your Cash App is in the link in all your descriptions.
Yes, my
Okay,
Cash App. Actually, if you see it right now, it should be on the scrolly thingy. Everything that I have is literally Miss Fins. MISSPHINS. So Cash App is $ Miss Fins. Venmo as well, and even PayPal. I have it. Drop your channel link. I actually do have the channel link. Let me drop it one more time so you guys
Yep.
can see
Drop
it
the channel
here.
link, buddy.
Cause there you go. Hit the like button
I'll
and
catch you. You're
subscribe.
going in the morning, right, Miss Fins?
Yo,
5 a.m.
tomorrow morning
or 8 a.m. your time.
I'm doing the updated 53-man roster, so
Perfect.
definitely gonna go ahead and do that.
Cray
But I'll
craft,
see you.
cray craft, cray craft, cray
Okay.
craft.
Hey, we'll see.
There you
We'll
go.
see.
You realize,
Later,
Miss
guys.
Fins,
Have a good
5
night,
a.m.
everybody.
It's 5 a.m. my time when you come on.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah.
Uh,
I'm in
Oh
California. I'm in
gosh,
San Diego.
are you serious?
Uh-huh.
Oh, Mark. Well, dang, that's definitely a long time. So there you go, guys. Let me see here. You can see it. See youtube.com/to subscribe. Right here. Subscribe today. youtube.com/Miss There you go. And then the
Okay.
Cash
Now,
App, all
with
of that.
my closing comment, there's just one thing I want to see tomorrow. I
What do you
want to
want to see?
see Connor Williams push Vita Vea back like 5 yards on either a one-on-one drill or on an 11-on-11. I just want to feel good about Connor Williams at center.
Honestly, I do too. And I'm a little scared with the snap situation.
He only had one. I think he only had one bad one today, one high one today.
No, he had a couple of high ones actually. And even Tua mentioned it in his press conference. He slightly mentioned it without mentioning it. That, they gotta work on getting things more smoothly.
Mm.
Um but he really was talking about get the snaps to me because it was more definitely more than one. It
I don't
was
know.
definitely
I
I think
lost
more
interest
than
in the
two.
press conference when they were asking Tua about his dinner and what. Please,
Come
8 minutes on a
on.
10-minute press conference on that.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. I was like, whatever at this point. Um, but yeah, no, it was definitely multiple ones that he had that were high snaps that Tua had to fish. What also didn't help because the offensive line did have some good moments, good plays. But in those good plays, some of them because of that high snap, it takes away time, for Tua to be able to like reset, blah blah blah, see his target and let it loose. So
And my
um,
only other thought for the night before we wrap it up is no injuries tomorrow, please.
oh my goodness, yes, Mark, I am knocking on some wood. That's one great thing about today. Everybody was healthy. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Lord. Because honestly, if we can come out of here the same way with everybody healthy, that's gonna be a win for us. So that way, when Saturday comes, we can go ahead and we can actually be effective and not have to worry as much. But Mark, as always, I gotta tell you, look, everybody knows you're a Phins fan. Come on, everybody knows you're a Phins fan. Just say it
Are
one
you
more time.
kidding? I was wearing Dolphin gear and waving Dolphin pennants in 1984. As a matter of fact, I was 27 in 1984, and I had a Super Bowl party over. I had same place I own now in California,
That's
and
awesome.
I had like 60 people over.
Oh
We
my
were gonna have like
gosh.
a Dolphin Super Bowl winning party because I thought like Dan Marino was like the best thing since sliced bread.
Oh, because he is, so it makes sense. So I totally get it.
So it was
Uh,
like, and I mean, it was like a great start. I think Dolphins had like a 10-0 lead, and then just kind of like the air came out of the balloon, and it was just really depressing. I had a lot of food left that day because people just left in the third quarter.
you know what? That's funny because I have a lot of fans who are from other fan bases, but a lot of them have told me of Dan Marino type memories and things like that. So it's great to see that you still have some connection to the Dolphins, and guess what? He's still part of the Dolphins now. In a what is it, consulting type way. So that's always a good thing. But listen,
And who could not love 17-0? Please.
come on, man. 50th anniversary, guys. I gotta 50th anniversary of the
I still have yet
perfect
to figure
season.
why the Dolphins had to play that AFC Championship game in Pittsburgh when they were like undefeated. I still have yet to figure that out.
I don't know, to be honest with you. That
I don't think
is one of
anybody
the
knows.
greatest mysteries. I'll tell you that because
But
hey, but
I
it
remember
worked.
the Larry Seipel fake punt. If anybody's there, that's still on the chat. Remembers the Larry Seipel fake punt, and I think I think the Dolphins were down like 10-7 at the time, or 7-0 at the time. And the Dolphins were forced to punt, and Larry Seipel took off on like a 25 or 30 yard run, which ended up leading to a Dolphin touchdown.
Jeez, I'm
That's
telling
the
you,
kind of memory that's how far my memory goes back. And I was when the Dolphins went 17-0, I was 15.
that's awesome. That is awesome. Listen, I know why you're a fan. Now I know why you're always all over, our Dolphins community because this is your second team. Like, look, I tell people all the time, the Giants are my second team, and it's because I'm a Dolphins fan. In 2007, I still remember exactly where it was when the Giants saved our perfect season. Thank you, Giants. Thank you, Eli. So
Uh,
that's the only reason why. That's literally the only reason why I'm not like super into them like I'm into the Dolphins,
I
but
never rooted
they're
for
my
a team
second team.
harder than I did for the Giants in that Super Bowl.
I think the entire world was rooting for the Giants in that Super Bowl. Literally, everyone hated the Patriots except the people from Boston, and then everybody else was rooting for the Giants at that moment. Like nobody wanted the Patriots to have that record, and on top of that, too, nobody wanted to see the Patriots win another Super Bowl. So, hilarious! I'm telling you, hilarious.
Hey,
And 50.
in my world, if the Dolphins finish 15-2, as long as the Bills are 17-0, I'm a happy guy.
Oh, listen. Look, Mark. Okay, listen. Nobody else is here. Okay, now before you go, I gotta have this conversation with you, man. Okay, before I tell you this, Finsteak, CB83. Thank you so much. I just saw you subscribe. Appreciate you, buddy. Hey, only 10 subscribers away from 400 guys. 10 subscribers away from 400, and then we gotta get Miss Fins to 500 so we can get that giveaway. But Mark, this is just between you and me. Let's be honest. Okay, this year. I know you guys. I know Josh Allen has been so good, against us and things like that. He's gone 6-0 in the last six, meetings.
Actually, 7-0 the last 7.
Listen, semantics. Just take the 6-0, okay? Just saying.
Okay.
Uh, be real. Does it feel like there's a change in the air? Be honest. Tom.
Is there a change in the air? Absolutely,
As
there's a
as
change in
we
the air.
as
Is
us Dolphins
are the
can
Dolphins now
actually.
are the Dolphins getting a look from Buffalo? Are the moves that Buffalo's making tied to winning their division? And that's one of the things that the Bills coaching staff does, and their general manager, they build to win their division. And if the moves that they made in the offseason, just like and the Dolphins do the same exact thing, they're chasing Buffalo. So why go get Melvin Ingram? Because Melvin Ingram played Buffalo twice last year and like ate up Spencer Brown, the right tackle. Why did they go get Tyreek? Because Buffalo always has issues dealing with Tyreek, with the exception of the game earlier in the season in Kansas City.
Mhm.
How does Buffalo counter? Buffalo counters to attack the middle of the field. They changed. Dayball left. Basically, he was kind of like told he was going to leave, and they wanted Dorsey. But Buffalo's doing things to exploit where the Dolphins are weak. They knew they needed another corner because the corners that they have could not compete with the Dolphins' speed. So those two teams are looking at each other and saying, okay, we have to compensate for what you do. You have to compensate for what we do. So, yeah, they've got Buffalo's attention. Absolutely.
That's what I wanted to hear. Cause honestly, I really feel like this year we're splitting with you guys. At this point, I think the element of surprise is gonna be us at home in that third week. I think, and the reason why I say element of surprise is because of the offense. You guys won't have much tape on it, and I feel like it'll give us a little edge. You know what I mean?
Maybe.
And with the heat, the heat's gonna be hot down here.
Yeah,
The humidity.
I don't think that's so much of an issue. I think more of the issue, to be very honest with you, in the if I think if the Dolphins played at home against Buffalo about week 7, they
Yeah.
win that game. But I don't like that. There's a thing that I'm not really comfortable with in that third game of the season.
Why?
Buffalo. Oh, let me just explain, please. That I think the offense is going to take about 5 weeks to gel. I agree with ball game. I think the offensive line is going to take time to gel. And if it was in week 7 and not in week 3, and Buffalo's got 2 games of film on seeing what McDaniel's offense is going to do against the Patriots and the Ravens, I give them a chance. In the second game, to be honest with you, the schedule makers really hosed the Dolphins. They did.
Oh
They put
yeah,
them on the road. They put what they did is they put the Dolphins in Buffalo after having to play in San Francisco, then down in Los Angeles, flying back cross country for a game that's going to be moved to Saturday.
they absolutely screwed us. And that game, by the way, it still doesn't have a set time yet. It's still to
No,
be determined.
because they're going to move. They're going to go ahead and they're going to move one of those games. They're going to move games to Saturday because that's one of those college fill-in days where college isn't playing, and they're going to move a game. They're going to move 1 or 2 games over to Saturday, and they're going to flex them. And you guarantee you're going to have a playoff competitive Dolphin team against a playoff competitive Buffalo team. That's going to get flexed, and playing 3 games in a row on the road with the third one going from California back to Miami up to Buffalo, 6 days in between. I'm sorry, it's a screw job. It really is.
They really took it to us, to be honest with you. And it kind of upsets me because at the end of the day, I feel like, guys, it's been like 100 years. Get over it and stop screwing the Dolphins so much. At least we're not the Patriots. We weren't super bad people winning these. Like, people actually liked the Dolphins when we won. No, not a lot of people like the Patriots when they won. So it's like, come on, man. Gosh, they're still
It's
hating
it's,
so
it's
much.
okay, Miss Phins. It's okay. guys make the playoffs this year. You win a playoff game. You become a national team. Now you start getting you get the same benefits. You get 3 or 4 national television games, and you become a team that everybody wants to see, and you're back in the world again. So
Listen, Mark, let's be real. Is there any chance that we can sweep you guys?
not coming off of not coming off 2 games in a row on the road and a short rest week going into Buffalo in December, I really just don't see it.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. That would be
I could
super
see I
pipe
could
dream.
see I could see a back and forth game in week 3. Maybe being a last possession kind of game, but the Bills historically have not had a problem putting up points on the Dolphin defense, and it's the same defense with the addition of Melvin Ingram. Now, if you go get Roquan Smith, then we're talking a whole different story.
Why? Why? Why?
Because Roquan Smith is the piece that you're missing, in my
That
opinion.
middle.
He's the linebacker that you need to shut down the scrambling of Josh Allen, to shut down the middle where there's holes. And I'm sorry, I don't think Jerome Baker is a middle linebacker. I
But
think
we
he's an
have
outside
Tyndall for that.
linebacker. Pardon?
We have Tyndall for that. That's why we drafted Tyndall. We recognize
Yeah,
that.
but I talked to TD tonight and stuff, and he just doesn't see Kindle progressing all that quickly. He's gonna be he might be good, but he's not there yet. So you have god awful Landon Roberts out there who's he's like it's just he's bad. And then you got Baker as an inside linebacker, and he seems to avoid contact. It's just I would in half a heartbeat, I would trade Jerome Baker to the Bears with a wide receiver, maybe a Preston Williams, and throw that offer out, because right now the best offer that the Bears have gotten is Indianapolis offering a 3rd-round pick. You're giving them a starting inside linebacker to replace a starting inside linebacker and a wide receiver with potential if he can stay healthy. Greer, pick up the phone, make the call. A Roquan Smith on that defense makes that defense almost impregnable. With only maybe the elite teams being able to be competitive against it.
Okay. Well, you know what? I hope we pull the trigger with Roquan. I'm not sure exactly what
Go
package
call
they're gonna
Chris
do it,
Greer and
but
tell him to get off his tail and make the deal.
this is the
Baker's
thing. I feel
contract is
like we
$10
need a
million.
center more than we do. I don't know. It's they're both. That's literally the only 2 holes. We're taking 2 out of the equation. 2 as a quarterback, stopping people, but as far as the rest of the team, it is literally that middle linebacker and the center, the 2 major positions. We can handle the right tackle at this point by switching guys, but that center, if we
Well,
can't have somebody
nobody knows
really
that
holding up,
Austin Jackson in this kind of an offense may actually turn out. He's
that
look
is
at
true.
look at his fitness. Look at his fitness this year.
He lost some weight. He's looking a little more fit, more athletic. That's always a good thing.
I
I'm
just don't
expecting
trust
big things from
Liam
him.
at guard. I think
I
Liam's
actually do, because if you have Connor in the center with this scenario, Connor in the center, veteran, and then you have Teron um, Armstead in there, he's gonna be able to learn from these 2 veterans, and the fact that Connor already plays that position. I feel like it's gonna actually develop Liam much quicker. You also have to remember, in the last a left tackle for 2 years, he didn't give up not 1 sack.
that's
So
college, and he has short arms, and
true,
you can't fix short
guard
arms.
is better. Which is why guard position is better, physically speaking, for Liam, because of that
Well, yeah,
being one of the major
he can't
things.
play tackle. That's the bottom line. He's never
And
going to be a
that's why I
tackle.
say him being in that left guard and having Connor as our center, and then Armstead as our tackle, that would actually might be the best position we could put Liam for his development and for us to shore up that center to left side. And realistically, it would be from the right guard all the way up to the left tackle, because we already know Hunt already has that right, that right guard
Yeah,
position now.
Hunt's an excellent guard. He's
Exactly.
fine.
He's the only major player that we have in the O line, solid one. So if we go ahead and have it's set up this way, that's the only way I would be okay with having Connors, so that we can develop Liam into that stud left guard, and we could also use him too, um, as a swing on lineman as well. But that would shore up everything, and then the only position we'd really have to worry about in that case would be the right tackle, which, as you pointed out, which I've also pointed out too, and in the community, we're starting to realize this: Austin might actually be able to run that right tackle position, and in that case, then our offensive line would be good.
Yeah,
Now I'm
I
not
just
saying
go.
it would be
I go
like
back and I'm,
top
I
10,
kind
but
of wonder. Everybody knew what was going to happen with this, potential issue with tampering, and I don't think anybody really thought they were going to lose a first round pick. But there was a lot of Dolphin fans, and me included, that were in the school of thought of like trade the picks before you lose them.
yeah,
And
I
I
know.
would have made a trade in so quickly to trade one of my number one picks next year to Baltimore to get that center that the Ravens drafted, a
Mm,
Lindenbaum. Now, yeah, he's got some sort of a foot thing right now. They don't think it's serious, but there was the opportunity, and then to turn around, and that's why it's really really irritating because, as I said, I root for the Dolphins also, and it's like, okay, there's a possibility we may lose. Yeah, see, we may lose picks. We may lose picks because of this thing. We don't know. So get rid of them now. Trade it now so Goodell can't do you like that,
and he
which he
still
did.
did it.
And, well,
So,
he wouldn't have been able to, Miss Phins. It wouldn't have happened. He couldn't do it. You cannot say, "Oh, I'm going to renounce a trade 6 months after the fact because I chose to
oh no, no,
chose to
absolutely not. He
penalize you."
couldn't do that. He'd still be able to take a second or a third. You know what I mean?
Or he'd
But
had to take a pick from 2024 because he can't take a pick from another that you have from another team.
exactly. But we still have picks here. In that case, he would have had to. Then, yeah, if he wanted a high enough pick, it would have had to have been from 2024.
Right? Maybe he takes a
Then.
2 instead of a 1. There's your
Mhm.
center prop to solve for the next 10 years. Now you
Yeah,
take
but
Connor Williams. Now you put him at guard. You've got Hunt that's developing. You
Liam
got
can still
Armstead
develop
for
as a
probably
guard.
a minimum of 12 games, and then you have Hunt who's very solid, and you have Jackson that's developing. There's your top 15 offensive line. There's your protection for Tua. There's your ability to fully utilize your weapons.
Yeah.
I have, and I will question, and I will tell you that the single most person I dislike in the Dolphin organization is Chris Greer.
He should have been fired, if we're being honest. But I think if nothing pans out this year, he's getting fired. I don't think there's any way that he can keep his job. Now, he's positioned himself to keep his job, but I don't know if Ross would be, what do you call it? I don't think he would shield him anymore. I
I
think he
just
would
want to
actually
throw a
get rid of him.
hypothetical out here for you, Miss Finns. What do you think the Dolphins would have been had they chosen to hire Brandon Bean on McDermott package 5 years ago?
Brandon Bean instead of who?
Brandon Bean and Sean McDermott, the two guys that are running the Bills organization.
If we
If they
would have had
had
one of
run the
them.
Dolphins organization, because I don't think you're scouting. Reggie McKenzie and the other gentleman that you have is scouting. Those are good. Those are good scouts. They have made excellent personnel decisions. So I don't know what happens between the recommendations that they make and whatever happens when they get onto the draft floor. I mean,
Agreed. And
the
Ross, I'm telling you, it's Ross. He doesn't know anything about football. And when he's putting in his foot in his mouth, he's only seeing dollars like he saw with Tua. He doesn't care a crap about the football team. Maybe now he cares. Hence the non-tampering. God, I can't believe he even
I
got
mean, I
caught
can
for
kind of
that.
understand the Tua over Herbert. I actually, when I was doing my scouting reports, and I'm a big draft Nick, obviously. When I was doing my scouting reports, I actually didn't. I had issues with Herbert's intangibles. I didn't see the leadership skills there. I didn't see. I saw physical talent, but I didn't see intangibles. With Tua, this guy, I looked at him and I go, well, he's injured. It's going to be a problem. He's a little small, but and I have a bias against Alabama quarterbacks. I think they're a byproduct of having great players around them. So I had,
Of having first round picks in their entire team. Yes, I mean,
yeah, I mean, you've got 4 or 5 guys that are on the offensive line that are making the NFL. All your wide receivers are first round picks. He's throwing guys that are 7 yards
All of them.
open and being 7 yard college open or being Alabama college open and NFL open are two different things. So I have my
Come on,
questions
they're,
on
they're they're going against some little tiny schools. They're not even playing against real teams. And whenever they do play against real teams,
and
half the
what's
time,
my, to be honest with you, Miss Fins, I am a big believer, and some people aren't, on the current value of the Wonderlic test, because it doesn't mean somebody's smart or stupid, but it means that there are some things that players with lower Wonderlic scores, especially at the quarterback position, have some decision making issues, and they hold on to the ball a little bit too long. They tend to, and all the things that we're seeing with Tua, and what drives me nuts watching a Dolphin game, to be honest with you, for Dolphins receive the ball. They go down the field, bang, 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 touchdown. And then, like, where is it for the rest of the half? They go back into halftime. They talk about the scripted plays. Dolphins get their first possession in the third quarter. Boom, 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 right down the field. And then nothing.
I feel the same way. I know exactly what you mean. They're
I
only
lose
good
my
with the
Miss
scripted
I lose
plays.
my sanity.
It's so frustrating. And then on top of that too, and this is when I could tell, and I'm gonna talk about this, and then I do gotta go because it's rather late for me.
Yeah,
But
5 a.m. or
um,
5 a.m. or 8 o'clock your time. It gets early. It's 11:20 now for you now.
yeah, exactly. But I will say this, and this is when I knew we weren't gonna win the game, and I knew the season was over, and I was so upset. Oh my god, I was in my bed in my bedroom, and literally I was glued to my giant TV, Titans game,
Uh,
and I literally saw first drive, three and out, second drive, three and out, third drive, three and out. Once that third drive was done and it was a three and out, I knew we're not winning this game no matter what. And interestingly enough, the Titans actually did pretty much did the exact same thing, minus their third one is when they were actually able to do something. So the teams were fairly still the same. They were still both having issues at the beginning of the game. But I knew instantly the way we went three and out, we weren't winning that game. And right then and there, I just knew, and I'm like, this game is over. I had zero like hope that we could figure. I'm like, nope, this game is done. And sure enough, watching that game, and I'm telling you, when the first half came, I almost wanted to just turn it off and leave. But no, I'm a real fan. I stayed. I took my licks all the way to the end of that game, knowing
out.
full well we weren't gonna win, and I was so pissed.
Yeah, I mean, by the time the defense, they had to recover from Dolphin turnovers. It was just the weather
It's
was
too
bad,
much.
and we still don't know whether Tua can play in weather. That's that's another reason I think you got hosed on the scheduling, because you think about it, all of your division games are early within the first 5 games, and they're all at home. So you got to play divisional games on the road in weather. I think that's another hose job of the league.
So we get screwed all the time. Absolutely get
Well,
screwed.
that'll change after you have a winning season. A winning
We've
season,
had two back to back.
a playoff season, and at least one playoff win gets you national recognition.
You know what? I see what you mean because the Browns kind of had that, even though they've always been, a team. But I would have to say, yeah, I see where you're coming from. This year, though, I think we have the opportunity to go far. But those first 5 games are literally it. Like
If the
that's
offense doesn't gel the first 5 games and you come out 1-4,
the season's
I mean,
over.
there's a schedule. There's a schedule there that you can win, that you can rack up. The Dolphins can rack up 6 or 7 wins in a row.
I could care less about 6 or 7 wins. If those first 5 wins, we don't come out bare minimum 3-2. I could care less what we do for the rest of the season because at the end of the day, who are we beating but the sorry teams? We're not beating playoff teams, and we need to beat playoff teams. If we can't beat playoff teams, there is no point. I don't care if we go 8 straight, 10 straight. It doesn't
No,
even
but
matter.
listen,
We're getting
listen
three
to
in a
my
row.
reasoning here. Let's just say, okay, let's say you start off 1-4. Okay, let's just take the worst case scenario,
Over.
1-4. Okay, now games that the Dolphins should win. They should beat the Bears. They should beat the Lions. They should beat the Vikings. They should beat the Steelers. They'll beat the Browns. That's 5. Let's
Texans,
see. Pardon?
Texans.
Texans. Yeah, absolutely. The Jets should beat the Jets the second time around the bend. I think that's early enough in the schedule. Let me think of who else. Now you're gonna have the struggle games. You're gonna the Browns. You'll beat the Browns because Watson's not going to be there. I don't want to get into that anymore. So you're going to
Mhm.
beat the Browns. So how many wins does that give the Dolphins?
That's 8 minus the very first one that you mentioned.
Okay.
So that would
So
be I
now
will
you
put it
got
at 9.
okay. So I think the AFC West is going to beat each other up. Maybe all those teams are going to go 3-3.
Agreed.
Cleveland's maybe a 7-win team without a quarterback. I,
Agreed.
Pittsburgh maybe an 8-win team. I
I can
the
see 9. I can see 9.
now now if they lose to Miami, and I think they will, and Baltimore, I'm not buying into Baltimore because Baltimore has no receivers to throw to.
That is true. Once they got
They're a train
Hollywood
wreck
Brown,
on offense.
and on top of that,
And
too,
you play in the box against Baltimore, shut down Lamar, and
he's
not
not very
not
motivated to play either because they're not giving him this money. So
so let's just say hypothetically, then if the Dolphins are at 9, uh, are you going to beat Green Bay at home on Christmas Day? I think so.
what? That
Yeah.
would be A, a Christmas miracle, and B, we are undefeated when it comes to primetime games. So, and that is considered a
Okay. Who is
primetime
Aaron
game.
Rodgers throwing to?
Nobody.
Nobody in the cast of nobody.
Yeah, but they still. You're right.
I
Yeah.
mean, if the Dolphins can't stop a rookie, a scrub, and a couple other players, forget that. And they get to play the Patriots. I think it's the Patriots the last game of the season. That's you should be able
No,
to win
second
that
to
game.
last. Second to last.
Well, it's got to be. They got to play a divisional game on the last game of the season.
Oh, that would be Jets, but I already counted that. So if we go, we already counted the second
Okay,
Jets
and Patriots. So
and the Patriots. That is
that's 11,
11. It's
and
11.
that's taken on to that's let's just take and we're taking the worst case scenario that you go 0-3 in that road stretch.
Within San Fran, Chargers, and Bills.
Right.
Yes.
So that's 11-6. To me, that's a 5 seed. That's a 5 seed playing the 4 seed in the playoffs. Now let's follow this through. So let's see division winners. I think Buffalo's going to get to be the 1 seed. I just think the team is stacked. I think the
Yeah.
number 2 seed goes to the Chargers in out of the West because I think they're an outstanding team. I think the 3 seed is probably Cincinnati, and the 4 seed is going to be the Colts. I don't think the Titans are going to be very much at all this year. They had a ton of losses. Dolphins are 5. Dolphins go to
Something to go
Tennessee and win
against.
that. Okay, Dolphins go to Tennessee and win that game and win that first playoff game. Now you're at 12 wins. Now you're going to a divisional playoff. Now you've got recognition as a team. Whatever happens at that point, in my opinion, as far as the Dolphins are concerned, is gravy.
Who do you think then? Who do we get in the second round then?
Okay, if we play it out, and I'm thinking like Kansas City, if Miami's the 5 seed, KC's the 6 seed, and either Denver or the Raiders. I have issues with the Raiders' offensive line, and I
Yeah,
have
but
issues. Yeah, their offensive line is kind of it's kind of like Dolphin like they have. Yeah, they're not
yeah,
good.
but I believe in Derek Carr too.
Yeah, Derek Carr is a really great player, and they have weapons. And
Mhm.
Denver's taken some hits on injuries. But Russell Wilson, a really good defense, an awesome secondary. So it's either going to be the Raiders or Denver fighting for that last playoff spot. So now you've got the number 2 seed Chargers against the number 7 seed. Let's just say the Raiders. Okay. Let's just say the Chargers win that game. Then you got the number 3 seed, which is Cincinnati, going against the number 6 seed, which would be Kansas City. Interesting game. I tend to think Kansas City would win that game based on where I see the teams at right now. So that means when you go into the
So you
next
think
round,
Kansas City's gonna beat the Bengals?
I think Kansas City will beat the Bengals. If Kansas City didn't shoot themselves in the foot, they would have crushed the Bengals in the second half and gone to the Super Bowl. I
Okay.
don't know what went on in Patrick Mahomes' head. I
Who's
still
number
can't
one
figure it out.
overall?
Pardon?
Who's number one overall?
Buffalo.
Oh,
That
okay.
they're a 14 or 15 win team. I just you could see it. They're coming off the loss last year. They're jacked. They're ready to go.
Okay. So who's
Anyway,
for?
so now what you'd have is I have the Chiefs beating the Bengals in a revenge game. So now you got the 6 seeded Chiefs going to Buffalo, and you got the Dolphins going to LA to play the Chargers.
Who did we beat again? Tennessee.
Tennessee, or I'm sorry, Indianapolis.
It was it Indianapolis or was it
I have the Dolphins going to Indianapolis for the first round of the playoffs and beating the Colts.
I thought it was I thought you said Titans.
I made a mistake. Yeah, I think the Titans are going to be second place in that division. I think the Colts are going to win that division.
Okay, so we got second round because I'm writing this down. So we got second round is gonna be
you gotta hold it on me when we get to the playoffs.
Yep. Buffalo versus Kansas City. You said
Yeah,
right?
Kansas City going to Buffalo, and the Dolphins going to LA to play the Chargers for a second meeting.
And Chargers are second, and then we're Phins. Ooh. Let's see here. What is it? We're fifth.
It's fun, isn't it?
This is getting fun. Okay, and then I'm assuming you guys win.
Yeah,
right?
we finally take the Kansas City monkey off the Bills' backs and get the win.
Okay.
Now
Buffalo.
what do we have? We have, if the Dolphins
Chargers and
win that game, we have an AFC Championship game in Buffalo with the Dolphins at the Bills. And you know how hard it is to beat a team 3 times if they actually sweep the Dolphins.
Oh, golly, this. Okay, this right here is insane. I love it. Oh my God. So you're telling me the Dolphins are going to the Super Bowl?
I'm telling you, the Dolphins have a very, very more than reasonable shot if they can go ahead and fix a couple of spots of
Mark,
playing in the conference championship game.
You're about to make me cry. I'm so happy right now. Guys,
And I'm a football
here.
guy, Miss Phins. I'm not like throwing this out of like for teams. I'm throwing this out of knowledge.
I'm so happy. Oh God. I'm gonna save this, Mark, and I know we're gonna revisit this, and I want you back on here because man, I should have been gone an hour and a half ago, but this is priceless. So right now we have the Dolphins going to the Super Bowl versus whoever comes out of the NFC.
Probably, to be honest with you,
Don't say
probably
Green Bay.
a
It
healthy
ain't gonna
Tampa
be Green
team.
Bay. Who? Tampa?
A healthy Tampa team, and I kind of like Philadelphia as a dark horse Super Bowl contender.
But realistically, Tampa. So you're telling me in this Super Bowl, the Dolphins versus the would-be owner / QB / XX / GM Brady? What the? Yo, this would be one of the most insane Super Bowls. Oh man, and I'm for. And then. Okay, we're running through this. I need your for real. You can break my heart all you want, but I need the for real. Who you think is going to win this Super Bowl? Because when was the last time a 5th seed beat? And I think Tampa's going to be at least 2nd seed. I don't see them being any less than, or maybe 3rd at most. If they're not.
Well,
first.
I mean, look at the mess the NFC is right now. I mean, you got Green Bay with no receivers. You got Dallas with no receivers because all their receivers are currently hurt. Philadelphia is coming on, but we don't know what Jalen Hurts is as a quarterback yet. You got Tampa Bay. You got Carolina, who's just, in New Orleans. None of those teams are going to make it. Rams, Stafford's hurt. He's got a bad elbow. So that's going to be a lingering issue all year long. You got the 49ers, who we don't know what they're going to be yet because we don't know what Trey Lance is going to be. I'm not buying Arizona in any capacity. So what do you got in the NFC? You got like a mess. And then you have to go by divisions, Washington and the Giants. The NFC Central, Detroit's getting better. Minnesota's okay. And the Bears are, fighting for the number 1 pick next year in the draft.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm like, they're definitely.
I'm not buying Jameis Winston and the New Orleans Saints. Carolina's got a head coach who's on the hot seat, should be fired yesterday.
And they don't even have a QB. They don't even know who's going to be it. So.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing in Atlanta who's going to be fighting the Bears for the wretched first pick in the draft. Seattle's garbage.
So the only real
Arizona is a
team.
marginal playoff team only because they're in the NFC. So what's going to come out of the NFC? You got Rams with an injured quarterback, a questionable 49er team with an unknown quarterback. You got Brady
It's
with
Brady.
3/5 of a new offensive line. You've got Green Bay with no receivers, and you have Dallas and Philadelphia. Ugh.
So you're saying, based on what you just said, that no matter who comes out of the AFC is winning the
The
Super Bowl.
AFC is going to win the Super Bowl game. Period. End of statement.
So in that case, ladies and gentlemen,
Brady
your
retires. He loses his
Miami
last game, and
Dolphins
he goes
have
to get
won the
37 million at
Super
Fox.
Bowl in the 50th anniversary of the perfect season, guys. Oh man.
You beat the quarterback. You beat the quarterback with the most Super Bowl wins and send him off to his retirement.
Oh god. Oh, there's no way on earth that Brady loses to us that he's gonna want to touch anything about the Dolphins with a Temple Bowl.
Why should he?
And
He's going to go. He's going to go to Fox and get 37.5 million a year for the next 10 years.
Exactly. And even with that being said, I just I feel it, man, in my bones. This is
You want this
so
to happen?
exciting.
Go get Roquan Smith and a center somewhere.
Mark, man, we didn't even break down the NFC, but I feel like it's not even needed. I think Tampa too is gonna.
Well, the
also
NFC's
come out.
broken down enough as it is.
Yeah, so I think and NFC. I don't think Green Bay's gonna make it out. They're gonna make a push, but they're not gonna get out of the
See,
NFC
the real beauty of
championship.
where I'm coming from is, let's just say, the Dolphins win the AFC East and Buffalo ends up on the 5 seed. It's going to be the same deal. Buffalo will smoke Indianapolis in the playoffs. They'll win their next playoff game, and they'll play, and Dolphins would end up having number 1 seed. Because I think the winner of the AFC East is going to be the number 1 seed in the playoffs.
And it's so funny that you say that, because my thing is, and I've been saying this for weeks, I'm saying months, our path to the playoffs is winning the division for us, for the Dolphins. And our path to the Super Bowl is winning the AFC. Obviously, championship.
Yeah.
But what I mean is by being that top 14, really. But realistically, that top team.
The critical game then for the Dolphins becomes that game in Cincinnati.
So you're talking about week 4.
Yeah.
Cincinnati. That'll be for the
And
Super Bowl.
that's a
the
tough
AFC
game,
championship.
because you're coming off the Buffalo game, which is going to be,
At home.
the Dolphins are going to be hyped to the gills for that game, and then I got to go to Cincinnati and play on a Thursday night.
Yeah, but this is
Thank
the
you,
thing.
NFL.
We do well in primetime games. We actually do well in
I just think
primetime
it's an
games.
interesting matchup when you match up, Xavier Howard, Byron Jones, and Nick Needham against
Jamar Chase,
Higgins,
Higgins.
and Tyler Boyd. I just think that's a really interesting matchup, and I think the Dolphins' defensive line can overpower Cincinnati's offensive line. And I don't think you're going to see Burrow letting him up for 400 yards. I just don't see it.
Listen, Mark, you made my life so much better in this little scenario here, because we just won the Super Bowl, man.
Hey, enjoy it. If you win it, you got to win the AFC East first. That means you got to split with the Bills and you got to beat the Bengals.
I really, to be honest with you, I really do feel like out of all the years, I feel like this year we have the better chance of splitting with the Bills, because the offense is different. The defense, I think we can keep up. We did keep up with you guys.
Not without a middle linebacker. You cannot have the linebacker that you have right now.
Short up, we need that middle linebacker. You're right, absolutely on that one.
There is no reason. There is absolutely no reason that you can't give a better deal than what anybody else is giving for Roquan Smith. You've got a guy like Baker who you can move. And remember, Chicago's in a rebuild mode. Chicago knows they're not going to be anything for 3 years. You can get Baker, take his contract, and Baker's contract dollar amount is the same thing as Smith's contract. They're both about $10 million this year. So yeah, it's going to take money to sign Smith to a long-term deal. But again, you sign him to a long-term deal, you spread the money out over the cap, you can make it work.
Bonus, yeah.
So you make that work. It's to me, it's a non-issue with the cap. And maybe you get him to throw in Tevin Jenkins, who's got some back issues, but he was a second-round pick as an offensive lineman.
And he was my second My second tackle, I want it.
So you can there is a deal that you can make with the Bears. There is a deal. There is a deal to be had. The Bears are good at tight end. They got like 7 tight ends, but their wide receiving core stinks. But the guy they got from the Patriots, who was awful, is now hurt with a high ankle sprain. He's going to be weeks out. So they have nothing. You can throw them a wide receiver. You can throw them Jerome Baker. I think you could probably even if you had to toss anybody else in. I mean, hell, give them Bowden and Preston Williams. Go to town, have fun. I'm not giving up Sherfill. I'm not giving up Craycraft, and I'm certainly not giving up Ekozama.
And I'm not
That's
giving
not
up a
happening.
pick either. Like,
Pardon?
I'm
And
not giving up
honestly,
a
I
pick
I
either.
know this may sound like blasphemy, but I would move Cedric Wilson in his contract and keep Gasecki. Gasecki and Wilson are going to be the same player in this offense. So so what? You get now, so now you have Gasecki out there with Hill and Waddle, and then of course and you move Wilson, and you get $21 million off the books. 7 million this year is what you're paying Wilson, I believe, and then 14 million left on the contract. So you move that contract, you move Baker's contract, and you throw in Wilson. Wilson and Baker will make that deal for Roquan Smith and Taven Jenkins, who they want to get rid of anyway.
And then we'll still have enough money to be able to sign Wilkins
You'll
and
actually have you'll have more you'll actually have more cap space because
yeah.
Roquan and Baker cancel each other out for this year, and Tevin Jenkins is making $5 million less than so you pick up 5 million in cap space on the deal.
This is a no-brainer. We need to do this and pull this trigger because
Wait till I introduce this tomorrow morning on the chat and see what happens. You should consider doing tomorrow as a panel show if you can. It'll be fun.
what's tomorrow, Thursday?
Yeah, I know you're doing the 53 tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm doing the 50. I can do that quickly. I just don't know. The thing is, I
I
don't
think if you
know.
bring up Roquan as a trade option, I think there's going to be a lot of commentary in the comments section. And if you bring up, and I'm going to let you do it. I want you to bring up the trade proposal and see what everybody thinks.
To be quite honest with you, your trade proposal was really good, but I kind of forgot it already. I was
Okay, okay.
I'm
You
half
want you
asleep,
want to
but
take a quick note? It's Real Smith.
uh,
Dolphins get Roquan Smith and Tevin Jenkins, and they give up. Yeah, they give up Cedric Wilson and Baker. Dolphins net both Joe Roquan Smith, Roquan and Baker both make 10 million this year. Tevin Jenkins is making 1.6 on a rookie deal, and he has 2 more years after this year. And Cedric Wilson is $21 million on the cap, 7 million this year. So you save five. You get two players that you can use, and you save 5 million. And that Dolphin defense is now stacked.
and on top of that, we pick up another tackle that realistically we can. I mean,
If
he.
Armstead goes down for 5 games, as his history is, you got the
Yep,
left tackle to back up.
exactly. Hey, I was just gonna say, we could even use him for both left and right if we're being honest. Mark, good take. I can see what that happening. Good prediction, Mark. Kane's 1989. You should have seen the prediction. My buddy over here, just the Dolphins are winning the Super Bowl, man. You like right here, people. It's all here. There you go. See if you can take a picture. Forget it. It's chicken scratch. It should have been a doctor, but I hate medicine, so never mind. But yes, Dolphins are winning the Super Bowl. We're getting to Tevin Jenkins and also
Roquan
Roquan
Smith.
Smith, and we're getting rid of Cedric Wilson, and we're getting rid of Baker. Which, by the way, it helps them out. You know what I mean? And it also helps us out. Josh Hart. Hi, welcome. I don't think I've seen you here, Miss Phins. Welcome so much to Miss Phins. Do me a quick favor, Josh
Subscribe.
and Nate. Subscribe. I'm gonna drop my link one more time. Let's see here. I'm dropping my link one more time. I need y'all to subscribe today to Miss Fins. Tomorrow morning, we are doing a 53-man roster projection update. So go ahead and take a look at that. See, youtube.com/Miss Fins. Very easy, very simple. Let's level up Miss Fins so we can go ahead and get us to our 500 subscriber giveaway, guys. We are doing a giveaway. I got some cool stuff. So let's go ahead and do so. Let's get Miss Finn to 500. We're so close to 400 right now. So very excited about that. But Mark, final thoughts, man, because we've been trying to do final thoughts for an hour now, and you just gave me great stuff. So keep it
Alrighty.
short,
Well, I
Mister.
guess all my final thoughts is I'll see you tomorrow morning.
Okay, perfect. We'll see you tomorrow morning, and hopefully, I'll tell you this: I hope Tua lets it loose tomorrow. You know what
Me
I mean?
too.
Nate,
You have an
thank
absolutely fantastic night.
thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mara. Talk to you later.
Take
Bye
care. Bye
bye.
bye.
Guys, as you already know, this is Miss Fins. I am Miss Fins. Look, let me tell you something real quick, okay? This is our Wednesday night show, 8 p.m. Eastern. You can catch Miss Fins on YouTube. Thank you very much. I'm here. Go ahead and check me out. This is Miss Fins, MISSPHINS. It is a YouTube Dolphins content creator. Right over here, people. But this is for you guys, okay? And as a thank you for the 6 months we celebrated 2 days ago on the 8th, we've upgraded the design, upgraded the thumbnails, upgraded a whole bunch of stuff here for you guys. So we want to go ahead and continue to have all this greatness here for you guys. Guys, I am gonna do that 500 subscriber giveaway. So go ahead and do it. Already subscribed. Oh, thank you, Josh. Appreciate you. That's what I'm talking about. Appreciate it. Nate, too. I see you, Nate. If you haven't subscribed, Red, appreciate it. Super Bowl, they ain't right. That's what I'm talking about. Absolutely. Listen, it's all about the Dolphins over here. You're gonna get great content. So check me out, guys. Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. on the Miss Finn Show. Each and every morning, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. Eastern, because I got people everywhere in the world. Okay? And on top of two Wednesday nights, you got the Wednesday night show. Go ahead and come to the after hours, after dark. Miss Finn. Thank you so much, guys. Like and share. Really appreciate every single one of you guys. Go ahead and again, hit that like button. Let everybody know we were live. If you're catching the replay, check out my new intro, guys. I work hard on it and it was awesome. So go ahead and check that out. Thank you so much, guys. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow morning, bright and early at 8 a.m. Bye-bye.